18.
I started in '01.
game. The back judge is Jackson Stone. The lineman is Daryl Irwin.
What? You got Irwin down there at the kickoff?
Steve Bowers. The umpire is Scott Stone, and the referee is Marty Asper. Moore has won the toss and deferred. Owasso will receive and defend the east goal. That lineman is Steve Bowers.
That's my only white one I have. And that's my new one. I got this one from CVS 26 for the 6 months. That's fine. The white one is still dirty, but I have a black one. I got like 7 of them that were white. I got for 99 cents. Yeah. Is that half of me? I get all my shirts from there. Every single day. I'm stripping my jeans all my sweatshirts.
More line, black.
Hey everybody, welcome in to Moore School Stadium in Moore, Oklahoma, where the Owasso Rams are getting set to take on the Moore Lions tonight. I'm Grant Merrill along with Steve Mowry, Rob Williams on the stats tonight, and Christian Favalora roaming the sidelines this evening as we have made the trip down the turnpike, and we are ready to bring you some great football, as of course we've got one game left after this week. Every one of these games counts toward the playoffs, and of course tonight, as you heard from Coach Bill Blankenship in the coaches' quarter, Steve, we're playing for a playoff position. One that we know we're in. We definitely know that we're going to have a postseason. We just want to have it at home if we can.
Well, and it's a very tight district right now, with Union looking to be the clear-cut leader and probably the district champion, unless they should stub their toe, but it's a 3-horse race. After that, with Putnam City North sitting in second place in a tie with these Owasso Rams, and then in fourth are these Moore Lions. Putnam City North and Moore faced last week, and it was Putnam City who was able to come out on top 38-21 in that ball game. So this is a huge game tonight for the Rams, and then of course traveling back over next week to face the Panthers. But Grant, you come in here tonight, this is not your typical Moore Lion team that we're accustomed to seeing the last few years. This is a ball club that can put some points on the board.
We're about a minute and a half away from kickoff as we're running a little tight tonight, but so let's go ahead and kind of speed through our normal process, Steve. Owasso First Assembly of God keys to victory. I know one of them has always been to start fast. I don't think we could start any faster than we did last week, but we need to have something similar tonight.
Well, I would paraphrase that by starting fast on offense. When we started fast last week, it was special teams, a great return by Omar Barker. But again, the offense comes out a little bit sluggish. We want them to try to get rolling here tonight. This is a Moore Lion ball club that is averaging almost 27 points a game, and if you give them momentum, they do have the ability to score, unlike a couple of other teams that we faced. I think defensively, our corners, the killer bees last week, were fabulous. Barker and Brickham on the corners for Owasso did a fantastic job. I think we'll see Deuce back in the ball game here this evening. It's going to be critical in the secondary to try to contain a quarterback who can not only throw the ball but who is very mobile. And I really believe, Grant, it's going to be important for Isaiah Jacobs to have a big game here tonight. He's had big plays last week, but I think the Rams, for the offensive line, are going to have to establish the running game.
Both ball clubs have ran onto the field. We're just about ready for the opening kickoff here in just a moment. We're glad you're with us tonight here on 100.1 KYFM, also on InsideOwasso.com and on the Owasso Sports Network and the Owasso Rams app tonight. Starting lineups brought to you by Duramax Roofing, or Duralast Roofing, I'm sorry. Will Keeney starting at quarterback, Grant Van Landingham, Trey Begowens at the wide receiver positions, Dawson Adams, Chance Lucas playing each of the slots. spots. Mario Kirby is playing halfback tonight as Tyler Dillingham, Grayson Isaac in their tackle or guard positions, Javon Richbow at center, Lewis Boizo at the right guard position, Jackson Curtis at the right tackle, and Hilton Mosby playing his normal tight end tonight. So, it looks like, Steve, that we've got most everybody back from the injury. It looks like the infirmary has finally gotten a chance to close for a week, and hopefully we'll get to see everybody come through this one without getting banged up.
Well, and certainly going to be important with playoffs looming just around the corner in two big games. The only one I saw really critical for us this evening was Aiden Odell. I had an opportunity to speak with him before the game, and he thinks he may be able to return next week, but certainly want to be careful of that because he's going to be more valuable to us in the playoffs. We certainly miss him on that defensive line.
Well, we're definitely ready for a big game tonight. It is a beautiful night at a beautiful stadium. Moore has totally redone their press box in their stadium in recent years. They've got a nice place for everybody to operate out of, and very similar to Owasso as far as having a jumbotron and those type of things. Theirs isn't as big as ours by any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely is a nice place to play football. Dawson Adams is back deep to receive for the Owasso Rams. They will move from left to right on the radio dial. Gage Laney also back as well, and we are ready for kickoff here in Moore tonight as the Lions will kick it from right to left on your radio dial. Rams again receiving from left to right. End-over-end kick is going to come down near the 15-yard line. It's caught out of bounds as the flags fly, and Omar Barker catching that out of bounds but unable to run anywhere with it like he did last week. So
good starting field position for the Rams, as we mentioned, what Moore comes in averaging, but the Rams are averaging almost 32 points a game. And Grant, this Ram defense has really come on strong, but the offense, 31 points a game, including being shut out at Union. They certainly have some offensive firepower.
So they're going to re-kick the football. As of course it went out of bounds, 12 minutes put on the clock, and we're going to get this thing started up again here as they mark the penalty yards off the field.
Interesting call that they take that penalty and make the re-kick instead of taking the ball at that position. And Coach Blankenship must have a lot of confidence in being able to get a good return from his special teams.
Again, we are just underway. A 7 o'clock kickoff tonight here in Moore. It's always 7:30 at home, but down here in the city, they kick it off at the very top of the hour. And we're awaiting the kick from the Moore Lions as, again, they've now got it teed up at the 35-yard line. This end-over-end kick is going to go out of bounds again. There's the flag.
Not real sure what they're trying to do, but that one wasn't any better.
The kicker is Carlos Soto. He is a 6-foot, 151-pound junior.
And I certainly will make them, I believe, re-kick this again. And, Grant, this may back them up to their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, I believe they're going to tee it up at the 30-yard line. So,
just a 5-yard penalty, but that's 10 yards here to start the game that the Lions have just basically given to the Rams. And if we get a good return now, we may be starting at our own 35, 40, or even better.
I'm going to say this. I've been broadcasting games since I was 16 years old, and I've never done one where there were 3 kickoffs. I can't remember that ever happening before.
I don't remember, too.
You've, of course, been doing this since 2001 for the Owasso Rams. So with the fresh new 12 minutes put on the clock, they're going to try this a third time. And see what they can come up with here. They're actually bringing in a new kicker. Drew Johnston is going to do the honors, and this one is straight down the middle. It's going to be caught by Dawson Adams.
Probably should have let that go as he tipped it, and it went out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. So a missed opportunity there, I think, Grant.
That is where the Rams will have it 1st and 10, moving left to right on the radio dial. 1 second elapsing off the clock. We've got 11:59 left to go in this first quarter. Beautiful night. Out to our west, a beautiful Oklahoma sunset, and I can't tell you how nice it is to be up here in this press box. We're doing what we love on a Friday night. We are just about set to watch Will Keeney take his first snap of the ball game. He's got Isaiah Jacobs, the running back, in his backfield. directly behind him, trips to the left, one-man split to the right. That's Trey Goins. And we're ready to get this thing going on 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Off the right hash mark, he'll take it. Keeney dropping back to throw this time. Guns it up the middle of the field, finds Keelan Carney down at the 27-yard line. That ball almost tipped.
It was tipped.
Yeah, it got into Keelan Carney's hands, and that'll give them about a 9-yard gain to bring up 2nd down and 1.
Jameis Relaford got right in the lane on that quick pass.
Back to throw. Keeney slings it up the left side of the field this time, finding Carney again near that original line of scrimmage as he's going to be dragged back just a little bit. Well, no, they're going to say he got forward progress, so he gets the 1st down. Another Westerman Financial Services 1st down, so move up those chains. It's 1st and 10 from the 28. Twins to the left, twins to the right this time. Keeney taking the snap, handoff Isaiah Jacobs
there
up the left side. He'll get to the 35, ran out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. Ought to be close to a 1st down there.
He loves the matchup with those defensive backs as he loves to run over them. Gets to the outside as Will Keeney just doing a fantastic job. You know, he comes into the game tonight throwing for just under 1,700 yards and 16 touchdowns.
Man in motion to the left. That was Keelan Carney. Instead, Keeney keeps it, runs up the middle, gets up to the 45, dragged down near the 47-yard line of the Moore line, so he crosses the midfield plane and drags a bunch of defenders with him for another Westerman Financial Services 1st down.
Mario Kirby in the mix again, throwing a great block, getting tied up there at the end, but again, we see the will of Will not to go down and to continue to move upfield.
Again, a single back in the backfield. Man in motion to the left now. It's Kirby as Keeney takes the snap. Handoff Isaiah Jacobs running up the left side again to the 35. Flags flying as he's knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
I think we're going to have a hold on the far side, either Mario Kirby or the wideout that was blocking. Just got tied up there on the outside. That may have been Trey Goins.
10:50 left to play if you're just joining us.
Have an injured Moore Lion down on the field as well.
So they're going to come off the field and tend to him. While they do that, we'll take our first time out of the broadcast. Be back in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football on KYFM. Wide receiver Jaden West, 5'11", 183-pound junior. They are still tending to him as both teams have come off the field. We've got 10:50 left to go in the first period of play. No score here as Owasso has broken into more territory. They are at their 48-yard line. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, Christian Favalora along with you tonight. Rob Williams with our RCB Bank by the Number stats updates from time to time during the ball game, and we're glad you're hanging out with us. Steve, I can't believe right now that we've got one more week left of the regular season.
Yeah, it's absolutely flown by this year, and how exciting it is, Grant. I think, you know, not to compare to years past, but I really think that we've seen more growth on this football team than in some years I can remember overall. I mean, we had the big guns last year, Josh Proctor, Wayne Jones, Cortre Alexander. We don't really have those type of players, not that there's anything wrong, but Coach Blankenship, this team has really grown. I'm excited about where the Rams are right now.
Twins to the right, Keelan Carney in motion to the left. Keeney back to throw. He'll sling it up the middle of the field, aiming for an open receiver, Trey Goins, who was split out to the 10-yard line. He was chased down by a defender as they overthrew him just a little bit, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 16 from the Moore 48.
Feet just got tied up there with good coverage by the corner that came in, 23, as you mentioned. Jaden West went out of the game, and Ram offensive coordinators went right at the new corner filling in.
Twins to each side of the line now. Keeney off the left hash mark. Back to throw. Slings it right side over to the open Isaiah Jacobs. He'll come back down to the original line of scrimmage and not much further before he's knocked out of bounds on the stop there. Jameis Relaford for the Moore Lions. 10:32 left to go in the first quarter if you're just joining us here in beautiful Moore, Oklahoma tonight. And Steve, off to the west, I can see the glow of the golden arches of the McDonald's that you and I stopped at after the Norman North game.
Yeah.
Tim Rich would be proud of us, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Back to throw. Keeney looking up the left side of the field, connects with Kirby. Kirby down to the 45-40, still on his feet at the 35 before he's ran out of bounds. And that should be another Westerman Financial Services first down.
Great run after the catch by Kirby as he was matched up with a defensive back that's not near the size of Big Mario, coming in at 6'2", 220 pounds, and shows his speed to be able to get outside and move the chains.
About a 14-yard gain on that one. Handoff Dawson Adams this time at the 30, down to the 25, down to the 23-yard line. First down reigning again here as they'll move up the chains.
A lot of this success coming up front right now as this offensive line doing a fantastic job. Defense is trying to mix up its blitz packages. The Moore Lions have done a good job of trying to string things out, but I think the Rams beginning to adjust, and they've put together a really nice drive. Like to cap it off with a touchdown.
1st and 10 Rams at the Moore 23-yard line. Kirby in motion to the left, and Isaiah Jacobs in the backfield behind Keeney. He rolls back to the right this time to throw to Kirby at the 10-15, down to the 10-5 and down to the 1-yard line. They say he's in. Touchdown, Owasso Rams.
That was a great misdirection that time as they faked the jet sweep to the left. Will Keeney rose back out to his right and finds Isaiah Jacobs, who just rolls a defender into the end zone for the Ram touchdown.
6-0 our score, 9:47 left to play. And now an extra point being attempted by Christian Johnson. And we'll see what he can do here. Extra point coming, or at least the attempt of it. Kicks through the uprights and good. 7-0, Owasso leading. 9:47 left to go in the first period of play. We'll take a break, be back in 30 seconds for the kick. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM. 7-0 our score, 9:47 left to play in the first quarter. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, and Christian Favalora. Steve's got another RCB Bank by the number stats update. Steve.
Well, that drive actually started from the Ram 18-yard line, and they put together 10 plays for 82 yards, capped off by the 23-yard touchdown pass from Will Keeney to Isaiah Jacobs. Took 2:13 off the clock. The Rams lead here early, 7-0.
And now they'll kick it off from left to right. Here comes the kick, end over end. It is going to be kicked into the end zone, and so Moore will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line as James Mukes Jr. was back deep to receive for the Lions as they move from right to left on the dial. Sun is completely set here in the city tonight. Rams already on the board, 7-0. I was talking to J.D. Northcutt, who calls the games on KOMA, and he was telling me, Steve, that Moore is quite banged up coming into this ball game. They're playing without the services of a number of their players tonight.
Well, and they can ill afford that because they probably don't have the depth that some of the larger schools have.
Christian Favalora will join us here on the sidelines here in the next few minutes as he has rolled in. I think he got caught up in some of that I-35 traffic tonight, Steve.
Really, it was such a pleasant, relaxing drive over. I'm surprised.
The Maori Funeral Home helicopter was out of commission tonight,
yeah.
so we had to stay in the traffic as well. Lions moving from right to left, handoff from the quarterback. He will take it out to the right side. On the run there is going to be Dylan Buckheit. Daniel Highshaw Jr. is the quarterback for the Moore Lions. And as we were talking to JD before the ball game, he was telling us number 2, number 10, those are your guys tonight. So Moore will start with a 6-yard gain on their first play, as they'll have it 2nd down and 4 from the 26-yard line. 9:40 left to play here.
Got an idea of some of the speed Moore has as they run it out to that right side.
Highshaw, the quarterback, he's got one man split to the left and a back on each side of him as he'll take it off the right hash mark.
A lot of motion in the backfield right now.
Yeah, they're switching things up. Highshaw with a quick hand on the keeper, and he faked a handoff and decided to try to run up the middle himself. He got back to the original line of scrimmage no further. They'll actually say maybe even lost a yard, so that should bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Moore Lions as they try to power and push through. They look like they're going to move around a lot on that line before they finally get the ball going, Steve.
Yeah, Hayden Grant did a good job, and also Kamen Sievers in on the tackle. And both of these quarterbacks very elusive in the backfield, and you want to keep them contained. The Ram defense doing a fantastic job that time.
A couple of the games we'll be watching tonight. Our own Katie Dillard is in Afton as Rejoice Christian is on the road. We'll get some scoring updates from that one coming up here in a few. Sky took in Collinsville playing as well. Highshaw rolling to the left this time, slings it up the left side of the field and connects with an open receiver down at the 32-yard line.
It was actually Highshaw throwing it out. Was that Buckheit again?
Yeah, that was Buckheit.
Yeah.
Dynamic duo there for the Moore Lions.
They'll play action pass out to the left, and so that'll give the Lions a 1st down.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. 8:38 left to play. First quarter action. Highshaw, the quarterback, with 2 men behind him, and twins to the right. Handoff. First man through is going to reach a wall of Owasso defenders, and they're still going after him.
Mosby and Hayden Grant, along with Kamen Sievers again. Hilton Mosby, I tell you, the last couple of weeks, we called his name often, and he just burst through the offensive line that time and met the running back in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of about 2 yards.
That's a guy I wouldn't want to run head first into. Hilton Mosby he's like a train, man. He'll just smash you.
Want him on our side. That's the thing about this Ram defense. The first 3 games, Grant, they gave up an average of 44 points a game. The last 4 games, they've only given up 7.5.
Highshaw with twins to the right. Drops back to throw this time. Guns it up the right side of the field, connecting with an open receiver near the 42-yard line. And on the run there is going to be Alex Baxter for the Lions, and he gets another 1st down. They'll move up the change for Moore. 7:38 left to go in this first quarter of play. 7-0. Owasso leading early if you're just joining us.
Highshaw not really a typical, prototypical quarterback, if you will, as he has a kind of a lengthy wind-up and lobs the ball into the receiver. But that receiver that you mentioned, Alex Baxter, 6'4", 223, he's a bad matchup for us when he gets it in the secondary.
Highshaw ready to go here off the right hash mark. He'll put a man to his left, one man split to the left of the line there for the Lions, twins to the right. Now Highshaw faking a handoff, falls to the ground as he loses his footing.
They're going to call him down as he tried to get outside. Kamen Sievers was there, and as Highshaw tried to cut back inside, went down to a knee, so that'll be a loss of about 3 yards, almost 4 on the play. 2nd down
and 14 from the about the 36-yard line. Maybe the 38. That's where they'll set the ball. 7:09 left to play here, first quarter action.
This is really what you want, is give this defense a chance to make a play and put Moore in an uncomfortable position.
Highshaw takes the snap, fakes the handoff again. In trouble, he's scrambling to the right this time, slings it up the right side of the field, nobody there to get it.
Out of bounds, 2 receivers in the area, well covered. But again, a good job by this Ram defense, not allowing Highshaw to get outside the pocket and take off downfield.
Pass falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 14 from the 38-yard line.
Again, this is the down and distance you want your defense to be able to put up, and an uncomfortable spot here for the Moore Lions and the type of offense that they run. So if Moore makes a mistake, the Rams can come up with a big turnover here.
Moore kind of in an extended huddle here as they talk things over and get a word from the sideline. 15 seconds left to go on the play clock, and now they'll finally get back into formation here as Highshaw ready to take the snap, splitting the hash marks here. He'll drop back to throw, scrambling to the right this time, being chased down by 2 defenders. He guns it up the right side of the field.
I think it was caught.
Connects with an open receiver at the 50-yard line. Making that catch there is Drew Johnston for Moore as he gets it right at the midfield mark, but still, even with the yardage they gain, that's not good enough for a first down since they had dropped it back for a loss there, and that'll bring up 4th down and 3. So what do you do here if you're Moore? They're going to keep their offense on the field.
Wow, I'm a bit surprised at this early in the ball game.
Twins to the left now, and Highshaw on the right hash mark, ready to take the snap.
Offside. And we do.
We
you
did
can't
it.
do that.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what they were doing. They weren't going to run the snap.
And
That's
now
about the 2nd or 3rd time that we've seen the Rams do this the last couple of games that converted a 4th down into a 1st down. The defense had worked so hard to try to get off the field, and a mental error that time by the Ram defense.
that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Lions at the Owasso 45-yard line. We have 6:22 left to go in first quarter action. Our score 7-0. Owasso leading if you're just joining us. Twins out to the right side, same formation now for these Moore Lions. Highshaw, the quarterback, ready to take it off the right hash mark. He does so, slings it up the left side of the field and tried to connect there with Buckheit. He was unable to make the catch as he fell to the ground, but they'll call him down in the pass incomplete, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line for Moore.
Again, Highshaw, who looks to be very athletic there in the pocket. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's a big man, but he doesn't have a real smooth throwing motion, and I'm not sure his accuracy is on target, but certainly looks to be dangerous back there in the pocket when he's scrambling around.
From the 45 of the Rams, Highshaw ready to take the snap here. Twins to the left once again. And now he fakes a handoff, runs to the left on the keeper. Highshaw at the 40 now as he runs smack dab into an Owasso defender there at the 38-yard line. And on the stop there for the Rams is going to be Braxton Bickham. He just ran smack dab into him head on, but that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 to go now.
And there is the athletic ability that we're talking about. The guy looks like Cam Newton coming out of the backfield, and not somebody you want your secondary having to come up and tackle solo.
He will slither like a snake, that's for sure. 5:32 left to play off the left hash mark this time. It's going to be Twins to the right and a man to the left for Highshaw. He'll sling it back and try to aim for Buckheit. Buckheit ran smack dab into Gage Laney. Gage hit him a bit late, but they didn't call a flag on the play.
I was concerned.
Yeah.
The ball was well past the receiver when Gage unloaded on him over there in front of the Ram sideline, but he may have gotten talked to by the referee.
That'll bring up 4th down and 3 now at the 38-yard line, and it does not look like they are going to
Well, I wouldn't think so
change
here.
things up. The way they're playing, I wasn't sure if they were trying to emulate Pulaski Academy out of Arkansas. You know, they never punt. So
This may be just Highshaw on the run. Let's see what he does as soon as he receives the snap.
4th and 3, Highshaw rolling back to throw this time, and the pass batted down by an Owasso defender. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Hayden Grant. How about that? That'll turn things around, and Owasso will have it 1st and 10 at our own 38-yard line.
Hayden Grant reaches those big arms up there, 6'4", and swats the ball back down. Again, Highshaw's pass, when he winds up, he gives you plenty of time to kind of size it up, get in the lane, and get your hands up, and that's what Grant did that time.
Trips to the left this time. Keeney off the right hash mark with Isaiah Jacobs next to him. Trey Goen split to the right side of the line for the Rams. And now a handoff. Isaiah Jacobs rolling out to the left. He's at the 40, brought down at the 38-yard line. And, yes, he did run into a good tackle from Buckheit, the Moore defender. Buckheit plays both ways. He may end up driving the bus back over to the bus barn tonight. I'm not sure.
Mario Kirby is just getting into the secondary and trying to find a blue shirt that he can destroy, and he has done that on several occasions here already in this first quarter.
Keeney handing off. Jacobs up the middle, gets up to the 46-yard line. 4-yard gain there. And that'll bring up third down and about 2 to go. This is a crucial third down play here as Keeney handing off to Jacobs again, and they get him behind the line.
Yeah, there are 6 blue shirts in the backfield before he can even get to the line of scrimmage. Just a complete breakdown up front that time.
Well, you heard Bill Blankenship in the pregame show say that their defense is they do their defensive formations as well as anybody that he's seen in the state, and you know they don't do a lot of multiples. They just do their thing. 4th down and 3. They're going to go for it as Keeney on the keeper tries to bust forward, and he's short. Oh, man.
There's just nothing there. I mean, they're going to load the box and dare you to throw the football. There were, again, 6, 7 blue shirts, and it wasn't even close enough for a measurement that time. So we're going to have to call on the defense again as Moore is going to take over 1st and 10 at about the Ram 42, 43-yard, well, actually the 46-yard line.
3:55 left to go, first quarter action here. 7-0 our score if you're just joining us. Thank you for making us a part of your evening here on KYFM and also online at InsideOwasso.com as the offense will come back onto the field for the Moore Lions. It's senior night here tonight. They did their festivities here at the pregame show. And now they'll line up in a more traditional formation here as Highshaw is back to throw, but there's a flag flying before he can even get it out of his hands.
We're going to have a procedure call against Moore Lions. That'll move the ball back 5 yards.
So that will put them back at the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. 3:54 left to play. It's 7-0. We'll throw it down to Christian Favalora here in just a few minutes. Trips to the left this time. And now Highshaw ready to take the snap here. He'll do so. Back to throw. He'll gun it up the left side.
Was it almost
picked off? My goodness.
So close. They read that lane. They've been going to that quick out to the left side on several occasions and almost getting in the way. I believe that was Bickham.
That was
Once
Bickham.
Again, the sophomore, 5'8", 145 pounds.
How much has that kid stepped up this year?
Oh, tremendously. And we talk about all these sophomores, Grant. We got a lot to look forward to in the future. This ball club's going to be good for some time.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 15. Highshaw handing off this time. Up the middle goes his ball carrier. He'll get to the line of scrimmage no further. And on the run there is James Mukes Jr., so that'll bring up 3rd down and 15.
Kewan Hay leading the way again, along with Jaden Thomason and about 4 other white shirts. I like the white-on-white look.
It is definitely something to behold here. With 3:23, the clock is rolling. On 3rd down and 14, the ball spotted at the 50-yard line.
Moore's taking their time. They're trying to keep this game close and run it down as they run the play clock almost under 10 seconds every play.
Highshaw, with an empty backfield behind him, trips to the right, twins to the left. And he's ready to take the snap, does so, and he's under pressure from the get-go. My goodness, he'll gun it up the right side of the field, and chasing him down was Jaden Thomason. He chased him down like he had just robbed a store.
Yeah, he shot through there untouched and was right in the grill of Highshaw and almost got him down, and Highshaw was just able to get rid of the football in time. I was a little bit fearful there may have been a horse collar, but the referee was right there and did not throw his flag. So definitely a punting situation now for the Moore Lions.
They're going to punt it away. Let's talk to Christian down on the sideline. What's up, man?
Guys, Steve was right. Jaden Thompson kept a hand on him, but that was just a great tackle. Highshaw hardly had his feet set, and he was running for the sideline.
Now they'll kick it away as they'll end up punting it back to about the 10-yard line. Christian, what's the mood down there on the Owasso sideline right now, up 7-0?
Guys, this is a big stadium. I don't know what it feels like from way up in that gorgeous press box, but it's really open out here. There's a little bit of breeze. It could be a recipe for kind of a down atmosphere, not real excited, but the Rams are doing a good job with that 7-0 lead, keeping things up on the sideline.
All right, we'll check in with you here in just a second. By the way, this is a tall press box. Only 3 of us had a nosebleed here in the here in the press box tonight. 2:44 left to go here. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Owasso Rams at their own 11-yard line, moving from left to right on the dial if you're just joining us. A man on each side of Will Keeney. He's ready to take the snap from the left hash mark. Hand off to Isaiah Jacobs. Jacobs on his feet at the 15, brought down at the 20-yard line, very close to a Westerman Financial Services first down.
I'm going to guess Coach Croft may have encouraged his offensive line there on the sidelines as they just blew the defense of Moore out that time.
Yeah, Coach has a way of providing that encouragement sometimes, yes, doesn't he? Keeney, handoff again. Jacobs up the right side of the field. Flags flying on the play as he gets it up to about the 24-yard line. And we'll see what that call is. Eagle Eye Rob Williams was busy scribbling here. I think it's going to be holding. So that'll bring up 2nd down and 1. But then they'll mark it back and give us the penalty. So that'll bring up 2nd down and about 9 to go. 2:12 left to play here. We'll see what Will Keeney can dial up. He's got twins to the right and one-man split to the left.
Take a shot.
Now Isaiah Jacobs in motion. Now he'll sling it across.
Oh, my. That was a great defensive play by Moore. The screen out on the left side.
Yeah, the screen pass went to Kirby, and Kirby was immediately met by a defender.
And he had 3 blockers in front of him, but none of the 3 were able to take that rogue defender.
Well, with Moore's defense, there have been several moments tonight. We have to give credit where credit is due because they are stepping up. Empty backfield behind Keeney now as he drops back to throw. He'll sling it up the middle of the field, connecting with Kirby. Kirby's on his feet at the 15, 20, 25. Flags flying. He's at the 30, 35, 40. And they're going to whistle the play dead.
They're going to call a block in the back here on Isaiah Jacobs.
Oh, my
goodness. All he did was run up and put his hands out, and I think that was a legal block.
Well,
I mean, that was right there in front of everybody, and because you can't do the blindside block. We've seen that. But Isaiah was just coming up and almost like you would a pick in basketball and basically just stood there with his hands. It wasn't even a shove.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the decision is here.
That's a big penalty.
1:24 left to play in the first quarter. 7-0 our score if you're just joining us.
That's a big penalty on a big play to move the ball downfield and a bad call.
It'll be 3rd down and 10 now. Trips to the left for Will Keeney. Back to throw from the right hash mark. Looking, he's in trouble and sacked. Is he down for a safety?
I thought he was down just outside the goal line, and they're going to mark him at about the 1 yard.
Oh, my goodness, that was close.
You know, Grant, Coach Blankenship has talked on several occasions. When we don't have the crowd, we don't have the band, there's just not that energy level that we're used to having, and you can feel it here tonight.
Oh, I know it.
It's a flat atmosphere, and, the bus ride over can be a lull, and you're playing a team for district implications, and the Rams, they're not playing bad, but they're just not playing with the energy they need to put more away.
41 seconds left to go as they'll punted away here. The kick high, and it's going to come down to about the 35-yard line.
And bounce straight out of bounds, so Moore's going to have starting field position at the Ram 35-yard line.
31 seconds left to play. Our crowd is a little bit light here tonight. We do have some faithful fans that have traveled. And I'm going to tell you this, you know, you may have had stuff to do tonight, and you may have had plans, but we need you at Putnam City next week. I don't care what you've got on the calendar.
I would echo that. We need we know people love to stay home and listen to you your velvety tones over the radio, but we'd rather have you at the ball game, and these kids deserve your presence, and that one's going to be real big next week. We still got business here tonight to take care of.
And now Highshaw handing off. First man through is Mukes. He's going to get up to about the 32-yard line. But no, next week's one of those games. If Great Aunt Bessie's in the hospital, bust her out and bring her with you. I don't care what you got going. Second down and 7 to go from the 32-yard line.
Well, the way Moore's been playing the clock, you've got to think they're going to let this one run out, and we'll move to the second quarter.
Dateline, Afton, Oklahoma. Rejoice Christian leading Afton 14-0. So Coach Marley and the Eagles up to a good start. We've put a quarter in the books here as our clock rolls down to 0. It's Owasso 7 and Moore 0. We'll take a break and be back right after this 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM.
Our goals are to provide a quick appointment, spend time with each patient to explain everything that's going on. We are the official physicians of the Owasso Rams, but we're real excited and very proud to serve the community in Owasso and the surrounding area. Tulsa Bowman Joint obviously has a great reputation in the region. We bring all of that power here to Owasso.
For the second quarter of play, I'm Grant Merrill along with Steve Mowry and Christian Favalora. Another RCB Bank by the number stats update. Here's Steve.
Well, the Rams dominating in the numbers with that long first quarter drive that went 82 yards. 49 yards on the ground on 11 carries. Will Keeney 7 of 8 in the air for 61 yards. 110 total yards for the Rams. For the Moore Lions, they have 7 rushes on the ground for 10 yards, and Highshaw only 3 of 8 for 31 yards. Moore has been held to 41 yards, but it's been the penalties. The Rams with 4 penalties for 35 yards.
Highshaw back to throw, finds Buckheit at the 29. He'll dive forward to the 25-yard line and is awfully close to a Moore Lion first down. They probably will move up the chains here.
And that doesn't seem like a lot of yardage in penalties, but the one penalty's converted a 4th down into a 1st down, and the other penalty negated a 1st down for the Owasso Rams. The supposedly blocking the back by Isaiah Jacobs.
1st and 10, Moore Lions at the Owasso 25. We've got 11:42 left to go in the half. Glad you're with us tonight here on 100.1 KYFM and also online at InsideOwasso.com. Taking the snap with the hand, or faking the handoff, is the quarterback Highshaw, and he's going to meet a wall of Owasso defenders just shy of the line of scrimmage. They'll give him about a 2-yard loss on that sack there. That's a guy that's going to fake a lot tonight. I mean, he fakes handoff, he drops back to throw and then starts running. I mean, yeah.
I'm a little concerned though when he keeps it and gets outside. I would rather him give it away rather than keep it, because he is just a very athletic. I don't want to see how fast he can run.
2nd down and 12, ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Moore will send twins to the left, one man to the right. Highshaw ready to take the snap here. He does so, fakes a handoff again and scrambles up the middle. On his feet at the 25, he'll dive forward down to about the 23-yard line. So he's just inside the original 10 yards. That's going to bring up third down and about 9 to go for the Lions. And they are inching closer and closer to probably being able to kick a field goal if they can't do anything on this next down.
Yeah, that time Matt Lohr able to come from his defensive tackle position out to his left and make that tackle. Highshaw really likes to shake and bake left to right and not let anybody get in touch with him.
The tank, Matt Lohr. Twins out to the left, one man split to the right. Highshaw off the right hash mark, ready to roll here. 10 minutes even left to go in the first half. Highshaw back to throw this time, slings it up the right side of the field and connects at the 15-yard line with an open receiver. That is going to be Drew Johnston, and they'll move up the chains for another Moore line first down.
And again, Highshaw does just enough to lock up the defense and then throws a ball. It's not real accurate. It's low where only his receiver can make the catch, cannot advance the football, but it's enough to move the chains.
Hey, Moore's got a good football team this year.
Absolutely.
They are not the Moore Lions we've seen in the past for sure. I listened to a lot of bad Moore football on KOMA the last couple of years driving down the turnpike, and they're a different team. Back to throw, slinging it to a receiver, a touchdown for Moore as he will get it into the hands of Alex Baxter, and Baxter was able to dive into the end zone, slam down that ball, and he makes it 7-6. We'll see what they can do on the extra point here. 9:25 left to play in this first half. And now they are going to try to go for it here. No, they're going to throw flags as they were about to scramble and mix things up. $9:25 left to go in the first half. 7-6 our score. And I think they're going to call encroachment here. And they are going to line it up and try to kick the extra point. So, doing the honors for Moore is Marcus Dawkins. Here's the kick. It's up through the uprights and good. Forgive me, that's Carlos Soto, and he'll tie the ball game at 7. 9:25 left to go in this first half. The kickoff ahead in 30 seconds. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on 100.1 KYFM. Williams, Brandon Brewer, Brock Crawford, Christian Favalora. We've got the whole crew here tonight. We're glad you're with us both on TV, on the Owasso Rams app, and on InsideOwasso.com, and on radio at KYFM 100.1. As Moore will kick it from left to right. They will do it off the foot of Carlos Soto. Back to receive Dawson Adams for the Owasso Rams, and Soto is going to kick it directly to Omar Barker, who's at the 23-yard line. Barker returning to the 30, up to the 35, still on his feet at the 40, up to the 45, gets to the 49-yard line before he's ran out of bounds, and that will be very good field position for the Owasso Rams, Mr. Mowry.
Well, and I think that's exactly what Moore head coach Brad Hill was trying to avoid on that first kickoff opening the game, as Omar Barker ran all the way across the field from the near side to the far side, got around the corner, and that's going to move the football up. It looks like Grant, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. I thought he'd gotten up closer to midfield.
It was awfully a lot of wishful thinking on my part, apparently, but we gave him about 7 extra yards. Trips to the left this time. Handoff Isaiah Jacobs. Jacobs running to the right. He'll get out to about the 43, so maybe a yard's gain there.
I'll tell you what, this Moore secondary is doing a good job of open field tackling, especially on Isaiah Jacobs trying to get to the edge. There just seems to be always one man that he can't quite break away from for the big run.
9:07 left to play here. We're tied at 7. Twins out to the left this time as
we need to put a drive together and get something going here.
Keeney ready to take the snap here. He drops back to throw, looking. He'll sling it up the right side, and it was aimed for Mario Kirby. Kirby let it go off of his fingertips.
Well, the pass was behind him. I think Will Keeney thought he was going to stop for a moment, but Mario was so wide open on the near side for whatever reason. There was no safety help over the top, and the corner stopped at about 7 yards, and he was wide open, Mario Kirby was, and we missed a scoring opportunity there because if Mario catches that football, there is no way that anyone catches him. However, roughing the passer personal foul penalty on the play will move the ball to the Moore 44-yard line. That'll move the chains.
We will take it how we can get it with 9:02 left to go in the first half. Trips to the left this time. Keeney ready to dial up a play. Referees with some final words before the snap as they were talking to the defensive lineman there. Keeney now looking to the sideline for an additional instruction. 15 on the play clock. Keeney ready to take the snap. He'll do so here. Handoff, Isaiah Jacobs drilling up the right side. He'll get down to the 42-yard line. Not much of a gain there.
Well, this Moore defense is better at pursuit and tackling than we've seen the last couple of years. There's not, in most cases, just one blue shirt around the football. There are 3, sometimes 4, and even up to 6.
Shotgun formation with twins to each side of the line. Man in motion to the left. Now leaving Keeney with an empty backfield. He'll drop back to throw. He waits and tries to hit Van Landingham down at the 34. It's off his fingertips.
And Will tried to throw a dart and just threw it at the feet, and it just almost one-hopped to the receiver. Just very, very uncharacteristic. And Grant, I'm a believer. Some of that goes back to the fact that it's just a flat evening here at this stadium. There's no excitement. There's no crowd, and it's just these guys have got to have to draw on themselves and find that energy and get this machine rolling.
Keeney ready to take the snap here. He's getting more instructions from the sideline, and I think we're going to have a timeout called right here. We've got 8:27 left to play, tied at 7. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Owasso Ram football on KYFM. Out of the timeout, the Owasso Rams at the 43-yard line of the Lions. Keeney back to throw, aiming for Trey Goins. It's caught. He's brought down inside the 5, and just like that, that is a huge first down for the Owasso Rams. How about that, Mr. Mallard?
You could see that from the very beginning as Trey got behind the corner here on the near side. Will threw a perfect football for Trey to just camp under and wait on it, and that's the play that may be the play that we needed for this offense.
Keeney ready to line things up here. He's got a man in motion to the right. Keeney on the keeper trying to lunge forward, gets back down to the 5-yard line. And that is going to bring up a 2-yard gain, second and goal from the 5.
We've got a Moore Lion. He's trying to get up, but he's injured. He's going to hobble back to the huddle. That's Jake Cordova, a 6'1", 168-pound linebacker.
7:51 and the clock rolling. Keeney rolling to the right this time. He'll get it to the end zone. Touchdown, Owasso. Hallelujah. We have put 6 on the board right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Keelan Carney, the freshman.
Gosh, a great play call that time by this Ram offense.
And he will come off the field to the applause of his fans and teammates. And now the extra point attempt coming from Christian Johnson. (13-7) our score. Kick coming. Johnson boots it through the uprights, and it is good. 14-7 our score, 7:45 to play. We're back at 30 seconds for the kick. This is Owasso Ram football on KYFM.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
Score, 7:45 left to go in the first half of play. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry along with you. Christian Favalora roaming the sidelines, and man, oh man, what a nice series of plays by Will Keeney and Trey Goins, and then Will Keeney and Keelan Carney, and we've got a big lead now for the Owasso Rams. Steve has a RCB Bank by the number stats update.
Yeah, that drive was 7 plays for 58 yards, only took 1 minute and 29 seconds off the clock.
Seemed like 100 minutes.
Seemed like it there for a moment.
End-over-end kick is going to be fielded at about the 24, and it's dropped off his toes, and just like that, it rolls back to the 31-yard line. Who's got it?
Moore gets the indication. You got a quick indication from the referee, the Moore line. Man, that ball bounced right off the chest of the returner and just started rolling back to midfield range.
And now Moore's coming off the field for a quick moment. I believe we're going to have a pause in the action.
Grant, I think we talked about that being a 7-play, 58-yard drive. You had the roughing the passer penalty that was unsportsmanlike conduct. That gave the Rams a first down, but also the 36-yard, the big play that set it up. Goins had the 36-yard reception from Will Keeney that set up the touchdown drive.
Twins to the right, and we'll get the snap, handoff to the first man through. Ball carrier gets up to the 35-yard line. That is Marcus Morris after the handoff from Highshaw. And that is going to bring up second down and 5.
This game really taking a lot of different complexion from last year, where the Rams came in and dominated 52-6. Last year's game, we were up 42-0 at halftime in a game that Bryce Cabrera had 4 touchdowns in the game, 3 in the second quarter alone.
Awaiting the snap to Highshaw here with 7:07 left to play in this first half. 14-7, Owasso leading it. If you're just joining us, hang on. We'll go down to Christian Favalora here in just a moment. We'll see what Highshaw can do first as he'll take it off the left hash mark. And now they blow that play dead here pretty quickly. Christian, what are you seeing down on the sidelines as we go to a timeout?
Well, I just got out of a conversation with OBU recruiter talking to me about Hilton Mosby a lot, and Hilton's going to have a big job to do on this defensive drive because, quite frankly, it looks like Moore's kind of found a little bit of a niche with movement in the backfield and getting that tailback out into the flats. Have you guys seen that too?
Yeah, I think so. Tell us your thoughts on that last scoring drive. What a series of beautiful plays there.
You know what? You talk about a patient offense. It really, coaches were taking the maximum amount of time they could before the snap to get the call in, and it was kind of slow going. All of a sudden, a great throw by Will Keeney to down the left side. That's the kind of thing we expect from this offense, right? It set up the touchdown, and really, that's the way we think Owasso is going to move the ball every week.
All right, that's Christian Favalora down on the sideline. We'll check in with him here in just a few minutes. 2nd down and 6 from the 34-yard line for the Moore Lions. Highshaw ready to take the snap here with Twins to the right. He fakes a handoff, slings it across to Buckeye. Buckeye was at the 47. He was on his feet as he crossed midfield and got down to the 48 of the Rams, and that's another big first down for the Moore Lions.
Tackled there by Gage Laney, but not before he gets the ball just across midfield into Ram territory. 6:42 to go here in this second quarter. Rams leading by 7, 14-7.
1st and 10 for the Lions as they keep the march going. They'll send Twins to the right, one-man split to the left. Now the snap. Faking a handoff. He'll sling it up the middle to Buckeye. Same play there, and he's close to a first down as he got down to the 38 of the Rams. A 10-yard gain, and they'll move up the chains.
And Highshaw just has this long extended throwing motion, and yet the Rams still aren't able to get to the football. It's ugly, but it's very effective.
Coming up at halftime, we will talk to an Owasso Ram great, Jared Honeyegger. He's going to join us for our halftime interview of Tie-In Development. Appreciate them and their sponsorship of Ram football here on KYFM. Faking a handoff, rolling out to the left this time is Highshaw, the quarterback. He'll get down to the 31-yard line, so a 7-yard gain should get him 3 yards shy of a first down.
I think they're going to mark him out. I think he stepped out earlier than that, Grant.
Yeah,
I thought he had the 31, but they're going to bring it back to about the 33. So the Rams, that'll bring up second down and 5.
2nd and 5 from the 33. We were a little generous on the yardage there. Yeah. It works in the Rams' favor, so there you go. Twins out to the right. They're taking it off the left hash mark this time. Highshaw ready to take the snap. He does so. Hands off. First man through. Gets a wall of defenders guarding against him, and that was Marcus Morris on the try. He's not going to get any yardage on the plays. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6, actually. They drop him for a yard.
Matt Lohr again coming through the middle immediately and meeting the ball carrier in the backfield, and so a down and distance here to get this Ram defense. And this is the area here where Moore likes to go to that quick pass from the slot, and you've also got to watch big number 89, Alex Baxter, the big tight end, trying to get down the middle of the field.
5:07 left to go here.
The Rams are going to come up in, press coverage on the far side, but soft coverage here on the near, and I think Moore, Coach Brad Hill, wants a timeout.
All right, we'll take it with them and be back right after this. 4:59 left to go in the first half. It's Owasso 14, Moore 7. We're back in 1 minute. This is Rams football presented by InsideOwasso.com on KYFM. Like the Dunges family of autos. Heard Michelle Graves and her crew as they chip in for Owasso football tonight. Dropping back to throw. It's Highshaw. He connects with his open receiver at the 24-yard line, and he dives forward to the 20, and that is going to be Drew Johnston on that catch there, and that's another huge first down for the Moore Lions as they are now knocking on the door to try to tie this ball game.
And again, give Highshaw credit. He knows how to work that passing motion and puts it only where his receiver can make that catch.
This game already showing signs of potentially going down to the wire tonight. Twins to the left and one man to the right. Highshaw off the right hash mark, fakes a handoff and rolls left this time, being chased down by Hayden Grant. He'll run out at the 15-yard line. He had a player knock his feet out from under him, and that was Dawson Adams on the stop there.
Yeah, Highshaw had a lot of room, and Adams comes up from his safety spot and knocks him out of bounds, but not before he's able to get a gain of 6 on the play.
2nd down and 4 to go here. Ball at the 14-yard line, and Moore trying to get in and get 6 on the board. They'll put 2 players to the right, 1 player to the left.
Again, the play clock under 10.
Off the left hash mark, Highshaw ready to take it. He does so. Fakes a handoff, scrambling right now. He'll get down to the 15. Now he'll gun it to Buckheit. He's going to be brought down at the 2-yard line after the catch. He just went forward and finally had a player from Owasso knock his feet out from under him.
Yeah, Buckheit that just kind of follows his quarterback. You can tell these two guys really know one another, and that Buckheit is Highshaw's favorite receiver. That was one of those, I'm going to scramble outside and point to you where I want you to go, and I'll throw you the football. That's exactly what Highshaw did. And Buckheit, we talked about Highshaw's athleticism, Buckheit as well, and Moore is knocking at the door, 1st and goal from the Ram 2-yard line.
They have definitely clicked tonight as Highshaw ready to take the snap. Fakes a handoff, dives through the middle, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Moore Lions. 14-13 our score.
Pretty much unabated that time.
Man, marched right in with 3:49 left to go in this first half of play. We'll see what they opt to do for their options on extra points. And now they're going to change things up and decide to try to kick the extra point. They had lined up as if they were
going to run the old swinging gate.
Yeah, try to run that play there. Here comes the kick. It is up through the uprights and good, and we've got a tie ball game with 3:49 left to go in the first half. It's Owasso 14, Moore 14. We're back for the kick in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football presented by InsideOwasso.com on 100.1 KYFM. Back to Moore, Oklahoma. We are tied at 14 with 3:49 left to go in the first half. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry along with you here on 100.1 KYFM Bartlesville, KYFM HD1 Bartlesville, and with an RCB Bank by the number stats update. Here's Steve Mowry.
Well, for Moore, that was a play that right now what we have is 56 yards on 14 carries for the Rams. And Will Keeney, 9 of 10 for 102 yards, 158 total yards for the Rams. Moore, surprisingly, has thrown for 114 yards. Highshaw, 10 of 16 for a total of 141 yards.
Short kick is going to be kicked right to Omar Barker. He's on his feet at the 30, but brought down near the 33-yard line, and that is where Owasso should have it. 1st and 10 with 3:44 left to go in the half.
Penalties in the ball game, though. 5 penalties against the Rams for 36 yards, and the Moore Lions 4 penalties for 30 yards, but very close numbers as indicated on the scoreboard, tied at 14. And Grant, this is really what you didn't want to happen, to give a Moore ball club who is very explosive offensively to be able to get momentum in this ball game, and they're playing with a lot of confidence.
Now a quick handoff to Isaiah Jacobs. He'll bust up the middle at the 35, still on his feet at the 40, brought down near the 42-yard line, and that should be good enough for a Westerman Financial Services first down, as that is an 11-yard gain.
Isaiah Jacobs does a fantastic job getting in past that first initial line and dodging the linebackers. And then it gets messy for the secondary.
Van Landingham and Carney split to the left. Kirby and Goins split to the right. Keeney takes the snap and throws right. Gets it to Trey Goins, but he's hugged up and locked by at the 46-yard line by more defenders, so that is going to bring up a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6 for the Owasso Rams.
Still trying to go with hurry up. 3:15 to go here before halftime. Rams trying to put together a touchdown scoring drive.
Out of the gun, Keeney, handoff again to Isaiah Jacobs. Jacobs breaks the midfield plane and gets down to the 49-yard line of the Moore Lions. He's just about a yard shy of a 1st down.
Again, this Ram offensive line doing a better job in the second quarter of moving out those defenders, giving Isaiah Jacobs some lanes to run through. And this is the down and distance you want, 3rd and short.
So there you go. They're going to try to march forward and jump over the line. There's Will Keeney on the keeper.
Still going.
He's dragging his team with him. He's down to the 40, down to the 35. Finally brought down at the 34-yard line, and that is a 15-yard gain, Steve, as they'll move up the chains. He only needed a yard.
Well, and how many times have we seen Keeney do that, and his teammates know it, and they begin to push him? A lot of the Moore Lions thought the play was just going to be over on a short quarterback sneak, but Will doesn't go down that way, keeps his legs moving, and now the Rams at the 35, 1st and 10.
2:22 left to go, tied at 14, Will Keeney. Ready to take the snap here. He drops back to throw, slings it up the field, aiming. He overthrows his receiver as Grant Van Landingham was split near the 5-yard line to try to make that catch, and he made it. He would have gone right in for the touchdown, but it was incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 2:09 left to go in the first half. We're tied at 14, and Owasso desperately trying to get in position to knock on the door here for another touchdown. Keeney ready to take the snap, does so. Throws right this time, connects with Trey Goins. Goins brought down near the 30. That is going to be about a 6-yard gain here to bring up, I would believe, 3rd and 5 maybe, 3rd and 4. They'll say 3rd and 6. I was optimistic. Keeney with twins to the right now, dropping back, throwing, looking. He connects with an open receiver. That's Preston Hendricks. Hendricks down to the 21-yard line. That's good enough for a Westerman Financial Services 1st down with a gain of 10 yards on that play. 1:37 left to go in this first half, Steve.
Really good run that time, or a good pattern by Preston Hendricks just to go underneath the outside receiver and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
So we'll see what they can do right here. Keeney dropping back to throw this time. Slings it to the right side. Finds Trey Goins again. Goins out at the 20-yard line.
Again, plenty of time on the clock with, I think the Rams have 2 timeouts left. But smart by Trey Goins to make that reception, get close to the sideline, and let the defender knock him out of bounds.
Goins almost ran over my bride. Dude, you got to watch out. She's got an expensive camera in her hand.
You would be worried about the camera, yeah.
1:30 left to go. Handoff, Isaiah Jacobs.
Not much there.
Trying to push through, can't do it. No, I do love my wife. I hope she's okay down there. Minute 19 to go with the clock rolling.
Marcus Morris in on that tackle. The Rams trying to speed this up a little bit on that run. Clock continues to roll.
Tied at 14. Owasso knocking on the door here at the 20-yard line. 3rd down, 8 to go. Keeney ready to take the snap here with Isaiah Jacobs to the left of him. Man in motion to the left. Keeney drops back to throw to the right. Connects with Mario Kirby down near the 14-yard line. And he is just shy of another 1st down. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 3.
Take a timeout here. Well, let's see what we got. Is there an injured player? It's a referee. Now they're going to start the clock again. I was curious why they stopped the clock for a moment.
44 seconds left to play here as they are going to
attempt a field goal.
We'll see what they can do right here.
By the way, Mario Kirby looked like he was going to go for the first down, and he got knocked down to the ground by Highshaw, who's playing defense.
Yeah, Highshaw's playing safety tonight, and Christian Favalora texting a moment ago says Highshaw's very vocal on the line there. Here's the kick. It is up through the uprights and good. 17-14 our score. Owasso taking a 3-point lead with 12 seconds left to go in this first half of play. And Steve, if you're Bill Blankenship, what do you say at the halftime juncture?
Well, I think it's going to be a halftime, a lot of adjustments. Coach Blankenship's not one to panic, and he likes to let his assistant coaches coach up. They know what's going on, and they'll go in, make some adjustments, and really the Rams have moved the ball up and down the field very well. And, you know, Moore, very athletic. We talked about them not being the Moore team we've seen in the past. And they'll go in and make adjustments and come out at halftime. But I feel better about where the energy level is now than I did back in the first quarter.
It's Owasso prepares to kick. Let's go down to Christian Favalora for another Regent Bank sideline report. Christian.
Guys, the field goal honestly looked like it could have been a touchdown scoring drive, but that's little consolation because with a low snap like that, what Christian Johnson can do off a kick really is pretty incredible, especially when you're seeing it close up. Regardless, guys, that was a pretty productive drive. Great conversion on third down for Preston Hendricks on that pass. Things are starting to move a little more quickly for this Owasso offense.
All right, we'll check in with Christian after the half. 12 seconds left to go as Owasso will kick it from right to left on the radio dial. We'll have a RCB Bank by the number stats update here in just a moment on that last drive as the Lions will receive it at the 20-yard line. Fumble on the play. Who's got it? Let's see.
Well, the clock's not even rolling.
Did Owasso recover? They're sure pointing like they did, and yes, they did.
And oddly enough, here at home, the clock operator did not run the clock. Let's see if they reset it. That kick went off, I believe, with 12 seconds to go.
Yeah, they put
and when the
9.
fumble happened,
yeah.
The clock had not even started at that point.
Well, with 17-14 our score, how nice would it be within this 9-second span if Owasso could put another one on the board here?
Well, I thought they might say clock operator, put 4 or 5 seconds on the clock.
Dateline Afton, Oklahoma, at their halftime, the Rejoice Christian Eagles leading Afton 35-8. Katie Dillard with a complete recap of that ball game tonight on InsideOwasso.com.
Sorry, Grant, we're going to get to take a shot, maybe 2, to the end zone here. So that clock management is going to play into the favor. Well, now they're going to adjust it to 3 seconds. Coach Blankenship's not going to be happy about that.
No, I don't think so. He's giving them an earful down there.
And he should. They should have caught that.
They're going to call a timeout. We'll take it with them and be back in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football on KYFM. For the Owasso Rams, they will have it 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line, but the problem was the Moore clock operator didn't get started in time, and now they have put a liberal amount of time that has elapsed on the clock, and they say 3 seconds left to go at the half, so we'll have one chance to do something here, Steve.
Well, I thought he might go ahead and try to kick another field goal from here.
1st and 10 from the 22. Let's see what they can do here. They're going to try to go for it as they'll send twins out to the left side of the line. Keeney ready to take the snap with Isaiah Jacobs next to him at the right hash mark. Twins to the right as well.
See if we got some trickeration up our sleeve that we might try to run.
So across the line, you've got Van Landingham and Carney out to the left. Kirby and Goins out to the right. Keeney ready to take the snap. Now they'll put 6 seconds on the clock. That'll make a little bit of a difference.
Well, but see, we could have run a play and then called timeout.
And now back to throw. Keeney looking to dial up a receiver. Aims for the end zone. Is it caught? No. It's off the fingertips of his intended receiver, and the clock hits all zeros on the scoreboard. But the good thing about that scoreboard is we're ahead 17-14. Everybody's slow to come off the field. They're motioning the teams back to their sidelines.
They're saying on the incomplete pass to put 1 second,
back on the clock.
And I'm sure Coach Blankenship is going to want to try to maybe take a field goal here.
I wouldn't want to be the clock operator here in Moore tonight.
Man, I'm telling you, that for the home team, that's favorable for the visiting team.
Yeah, no kidding. We've got a second left. They're going to bring the teams back onto the field. More, I mean, they were already marching off and headed to the locker room, but we'll see what they can do here.
Grant, looking at next week's game, Putnam City North, well, they're in business tonight over with Mustang, and they're tied 7-7 at halftime. We talked about the top 4 teams in this district, but Mustang is right there as well. If they can get a victory tonight, it might be a big deal.
They're going to, I believe, try to kick a – no, they're not. They're going to try to go for it here. They're going to try to go for a touchdown. 1 second left to play. Keeney ready to take the snap. Does so. Drops back to throw, looking for a receiver. He'll sling it up to the end zone. It's off the intended receiver's fingertips, and that will finally end this half. Well, we've put 2 quarters in the books. It's halftime here at Moore. Our score, the Owasso Rams 17, the Moore Lions 14. We'll take a timeout and be back right after this. And when we come back, we'll talk to Jared Honeygager as Tie-In Development. He will be our halftime guest as the Jim Glover Auto Family halftime show is next. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM. 3-point lead right now, Steve, but getting to that 3-point lead has been a dogfight, and I expect nothing less in the second half.
Yeah, we're going to look for Coach Blankenship and his staff to make some adjustments, come out, and the offense really was beginning to get going in that second quarter. We wanted the keys to be a fast start. That didn't really happen so much. Well, we got that first drive in the game, and then we kind of went back to our old ways before getting another touchdown there in the middle of the second quarter. But hopefully they can come out and open up this game some more. Looking at the numbers, though, relatively close here in this first half. Each team with 9 first downs. The Rams with 83 rushing yards and 125 passing yards. Will Keeney 14 of 20. On the other side, Moore only 27 yards on the ground, 114 yards through the air. Highshaw is 10 of 16. We've had no interceptions in this ball game so far. Owasso with 208 total yards. The Lions with 141 yards. Moore has lost a fumble, and the Rams have not. Penalties, not so much big in yardage, but as far as time and the effect that they've had on drives, the Rams with 5 penalties, totaling 36 yards. Moore with 4 penalties for 30 yards. Time of possession, 14 minutes for the Lions, 10 minutes for the Rams. The Rams have converted 50% of their third downs. They are 4 of 8. Moore 2 of 6 on third down. Each team is 0 for 1 on fourth down. Looking at the individual stats, as we mentioned, only 27 yards rushing for the Lions. Highshaw, the quarterback, is the leading rusher. He's carried 8 times for 16 yards, but really outside of that, this Ram defense has done a fantastic job of keeping the rushing game of the Lions intact. Highshaw, as we mentioned, 10 of 16 with the 1 touchdown pass. That was to his big tight end, Baxter, there in the second quarter, a 14-yard touchdown pass. However, Buckite is the leading receiver for Moore. He has 5 receptions for 53 yards, as we mentioned, obviously a favorite receiver of Highshaw. Johnson has 3 receptions for 36 yards. Looking at the Owasso individual stats, Will Keeney is 14 of 20 on the game. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Isaiah Jacobs, the other to Carney. And on the ground, the Rams doing fairly well, but they just haven't been able to break open that open run and really establish it effectively. They'll get the 1 long run or the 1 first down run, but haven't been able to put maybe 2 or 3 together. As you would expect, Isaiah Jacobs, the leading carrier in the ball game, with 12 rushing attempts for 48 yards. Will Keeney's carried the ball 5 times for 24 yards, including a huge third down conversion that went for about 15 yards on a 3rd and 1, and then Dawson Adams has 1 carry for 11 yards. In the receiving portion of the game, it's Trey Goins with 4 receptions for 45 yards, but Mario Kirby, who has been very active here in the receiving area, has 5 receptions for 52 yards, and let's see, Carney, 3 receptions for 15 yards and the touchdown. So that's kind of where we are here at halftime. The numbers relatively even, and the Rams, as you mentioned, hanging on to that 3-point lead with a field goal there with 12 seconds to go in that first half, 17-14 here at halftime.
All right, we'll take another break and be back here in about 3 minutes for the second half. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on KYFM. Lowry along with you. Christian Favalora roaming the sidelines tonight. We definitely appreciate all of you for listening in here on 100.1 KYFM and listening on and watching online at www.insideowasso.com. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of high school sports in Class 6A Division I. At last report, Westmore leading Norman 42-27. This is a halftime score. Number 3 Union 63, Southmore 0. UConn is up over the Enid Plainsman 28-0. Putnam City North and Mustang tied at 7 in the third quarter. What would it be like if Mustang could knock off PC North this week and pull an upset there? That would certainly do more to pave the way for Owasso as we get our playoff hunt in order. Norman North up on Edmond North 17-12. Last night, Broken Arrow beat Edmond Memorial 56-0 was the score there. Jinx up over Edmond Santa Fe 21-0, and again here in Moore, the Owasso Rams leading 17-14. We'll take another break and be back in 90 seconds for the third quarter of play. You're listening to Owasso Rams football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on 100.1 KYFM. Here as we start the third quarter. I'm Grant Merrill along with Steve Mowry and Christian Favalora. Steve, second half keys to victory. What are they?
Well, I think the offense has just got to get a little bit better rhythm going, and the defense has done a good job, but give more credit. They've put together 2 good scoring drives, and I think turnovers in this half may be a key. If the Rams can't come out, and it'd be nice here on this kickoff to get a stop, a 3-and-out would be beautiful, and then get good field position on the Rams' first possession of this second half.
Owasso will kick from left to right. Moore will send their receivers back to the 1-yard line to move from right to left on the radio dial. Fresh new 12 minutes put on the clock, and this third quarter is underway. Here's the kick as it's end over end, and it's going to bounce at about the 10-yard line, picked up by the Lions. They'll take it out to the 15, the ball carrier at the 20, up to the 25-yard line, still on his feet, trying to scramble past 2 defenders. He'll dive forward to the 31 before he's finally stopped. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where Moore will have it 1st and 10 at their own 31 with 11:48 left to go in the third quarter.
So they'll start with good starting field position to begin this second half. We're going to call upon this Ram defense. I thought they did an outstanding job there in that first half. Talking with some of the coaches in our neighboring booth, Grant, and they echoed the same sentiments that we had. There's just no energy, that we're flat, and, you know, we even talked about that drive over just kind of takes something out of you. There's no crowd here making any noise tonight, and, you know, it almost has some JV senses to it.
1st and 10 from the 31. Highshaw, the quarterback, handing off to the first man through. He's at the 40, up to the 50, still on his feet, down to the 45, down to the 35, down to the 30, finally brought down inside the 29-yard line. And on that run there is going to be Marcus Morris. That is probably the play of the game so far for the Moore Lions.
Yeah, that's exactly what you don't need to happen, and flips the field on one play, and Moore is back in business inside the Ram 30-yard line.
It's 11:36 on the clock. We've got 17-14 is our score. Owasso leading it by 3, but Moore trying awfully hard to knock on the doors. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the 28. Twins out to the right side. Highshaw with Marcus Morris next to him in the gun. Off the left hash mark, Highshaw handing off as Morris, the ball carrier, dives through. He'll get down to the 24-yard line, and that is going to be a gain of about 3 on the play, so that should bring up 2nd down and 7.
Morris is someone they didn't really use in that first half, but he comes in at the running back position, and he is a big young man, 6'2", 205 pounds. And right now he is on 2 plays shredding this Ram defense.
10:50 left to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll see what they can do here. Is on the left hash mark. Highshaw is ready to take the snap. He fakes a handoff, fumbles the ball, picks it back up, rolls out to the right. In trouble. He's going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage there by about 5 yards or so, and that's going to be a big, big loss for the Moore Lions on that drive.
Ahmad Triplett along with Hayden Grant and also Jaden Thompson once again. That might be a situation, Grant, where Highshaw maybe tried to do too much, and he's limping around there as he takes the play. He's gimpy on one leg, so let's see what effect that may have here in this second half.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 from the 29-yard line. 10 minutes even left to go.
He's hurting
in this 3rd quarter. Yes, he is.
He's having trouble just getting back to his quarterback position in the shotgun.
Highshaw dropping back to throw. Oh, man, he is nailed as he
so is Baxter.
Completes his pass to Baxter.
Lord have mercy. Coming up is Gage Laney, and he just chopped the big fella down to the ground. He's slow to get up.
Down at the 27-yard line, Baxter was brought to the ground there, and he'll get 4th and 8 out of that. But, man, 2 big defensive plays by Owasso there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come over here to the table. Highshaw is really having trouble with, I believe it's his left ankle.
All I can think of is that line from Anchorman. Baxter, are you okay? They're going to try a long field goal here, and we'll see what they can do. The kick is going to be just short. No, it's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It got over the crossbar.
It went through and tied the ball game. It looked from this vantage point like it was just short, but yeah, they say it got over the crossbar, and with 9:03 left to play here in this 3rd quarter, we are tied at 17. We will take a break and be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on InsideOwasso.com and 100.1 KYFM.
Who's their kicker? 42? 44.
I don't even sit. I stand most of the time. Come on.
How far was that, Rob? 43.
Huh? No, you're fine. She's fine. See, Steve nodded. .903 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Grant Merrill, Steve Malley, Christian Favalora along with you tonight. Rob Williams keeping all the stats. It's tied at 17 after a Moore Lion field goal as they try to kick it off, Steve, and once again they kick it out of bounds. They've had a lot of problems just with fundamental kickoffs tonight.
Yeah, and that has got to be the most out-of-bound kicks I can remember seeing in one ball game, and we got 9:03 left to go here in the 3rd, and it appears instead of Coach Blankenship making them re-kick it, that he's going to take this one.
Well, if you missed it in that first sequence on the initial kickoff, I mean, he made him re-kick it 3 times.
Yes.
And 3 times was finally the charm. 9:03 left to go here in this, the 3rd quarter of play. Will Keeney will be in charge here in just a second. He'll take the snap and drop back to throw, slinging it up the right side of the field. He connects with Keelan Carney at the 38. Carney's brought down at the 39-yard line. So a long pass across the field will result in a gain of about 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 for the Rams. 2nd and 5, they say. And they'll spot the ball at the 40-yard line, Steve.
Rams came out with a good spot on that one. And a nice throw, a long throw by Will Keeney right on the money to Carney.
Keeney ready to take the snap here off the right hash mark this time. He'll drop back to throw, slinging it up the right side, trying to connect with Goins. It was overthrown just a little bit as he was chasing after it at about the 28-yard line, and that incomplete pass will bring up 3rd down and 5, ball back to the 40-yard line.
Curian Walker was the corner here on the near side, and Trey Goins got a good 3 or 4 yards behind him. Will Keeney slapped himself in the hand that time and knows a missed scoring opportunity, just needs to put a little bit more air under the football.
3rd down and 5. Keeney back to throw, looking, guns it back over into the hands of Mario Kirby. It's off his fingertips, intercepted. The Lions running it into the end zone. Touchdown Moore, as getting that interception, picking it off was Jaden West, and he marched right into the end zone unfettered. And the Lions will take up a 23-17 lead with 8:18 left to go in the 3rd quarter. My goodness. Not what you want to see if you're an Owasso fan.
Nope.
So,
now the point after.
We'll see what they do for the point after. They look like they're going to try that old swinging game, but every time they've done that, they've scrambled into a point after a kick formation, and they'll do that same thing here. They're actually going to go through with kicking it. Well, man. Here's the kick. It is up through the uprights and good. It is 24-17, 8:18 left to go in the 3rd quarter as the Lions take the lead. Game's far from over. We'll take a break and be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM. RCB Bank for being a sponsor of Owasso Ram football this year. We are back here in Moore. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, Kristen Favalora. It's 24-17. The Lions taking their first lead of the ball game, and with a RCB Bank by the number stats update, here's Steve.
Well, it's a real simple play. It's Jaden West. The ball bounced out of the hands, I believe it was Mario Kirby,
yep.
And right into the hands of West, almost a look what I found, and he's able to catch it out of the air and return it 41 yards for the Moore Lions touchdown, and they lead by 7.
Barker and Laney back deep to receive. It's going to be picked up by Dawson Adams. Adams at the 24, running at full speed to the 30, brought down at the 35 as he was tackled from behind, and they'll actually start out at about the 37-yard line or so. 1st and 10 for the Owasso Rams, as they've got yardage and scoring to make up in a relatively short order. We've got 8:09 left to go in this 3rd quarter.
Well, you hate to say that this is a must-drive, but it really is, Grant, to try to get the momentum back. Rams got to take the ball down the field, and it's going to have to start with this offensive line.
Now a man in motion to the left. That's Adams. Handoff is actually to Isaiah Jacobs. He tries to power up the middle, gets to the 40-yard line, so a gain of 3 yards will bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Rams with just under 8 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. At last check, it was a very close game between Putnam City North and Mustang.
Yeah, Putnam City now is back up 14-7 in the 3rd quarter.
But you talk about some back and forth games for some teams that looked pretty solid to finish out the season, us included. Keeney rolling out to the right this time. His pass falls short as it was aimed for Trey Goins.
Well, and he was under duress that time and actually tried to throw the football when the defender had his hands on him. Giving that pressure was Cole Karn, a 6'3", 221-pound defensive lineman. And Rams facing some adversity here within district play that they don't see very often on the road.
Twins to each side of the line here on 3rd and 7. Keeney looking to the sideline for a second set of instructions here. Owasso down by 7 if you're just joining us. Keeney taking the snap here, dropping back to throw. He'll sling it left this time, finding Mario Kirby. Kirby down to the 49-yard line, and that is a Westerman Financial Services first down as he'll get to midfield. 7:25 left to go in this third quarter. Clock rolling as they'll move up the chains. They'll actually spot the football at the 48 of the Moore Lions. Owasso Rams 2 yards into enemy territory here.
That's a big first down after that interception to get this rolling once again. The Rams starting to get some momentum. Stoppage in play. Not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, they've got a brief delay in the action here. Don't forget, coming up, we'll have a full recap here on InsideOwasso.com of all that you've seen tonight. Christian Favalora will be writing the recap, and Coach Lord Merrill's got the camera and all the photos tonight. So appreciate all the hard work our crew's doing here on the sideline. 7:21 left to play. Keeney with a running back behind him. That's Jacobs. Jacobs will take the handoff. He tries to drive up the middle.
Bounces to the outside.
Yeah, bounces to the outside at the 40, down to the 35-30, ran out of bounds near the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for another Westerman Financial Services first down as they'll move up those chains once again.
Yeah, starting to see Isaiah Jacobs run with a little more purpose here and try to boost some energy into this Ram offense as they're going to line up and try to speed things up.
1st and 10 from the left hash mark this time. Keeney ready to take the snap. He's got twins out to the right and a man split to the left. Keeney rolling to the right, connects with an open receiver, Keelan Carney. Carney's going to be brought down at the 24-yard line, and on the stop there for the Moore Lions, that is going to be Kieran Walker, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 1 to go.
This might be where you take a shot at 2nd and 1, then you can come back with the quarterback sneak to get the first down, or Coach Blankenship may do it right here.
Everybody close in here. Will Keeney ready to take the snap. Carney in motion to the left. Handoff Isaiah Jacobs. He should get that first down as he powers through to about the 21-yard line. They'll move up those chains. Another Westerman Financial Services first down puts it at 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line, as little by little the Rams still trying to beat their way into more territory here. 1st and 10 Rams. Jacobs gets a quick toss from Keeney. He's down to the 20, brought down to the 18-yard line, stuffed and stopped by 2 more defenders, as that was Dylan Mallett and Dylan Buckheit making that stop there to bring up 2nd and 6 now for the Owasso Rams.
Clock continues to roll as we approach 6 minutes to go here in this third period. And this has been one of the few times the Rams have actually trailed in district play.
From the 18-yard line, trips to the left this time. Keeney back to handoff. Isaiah Jacobs with room in front of him. He's at the 15, down to the 10, still inside at the 7-yard line, and that's where he's dragged out of bounds. Another Westerman Financial Services first down that will bring up 1st and goal now, Steve, for these Rams.
That was a great run by Isaiah Jacobs out on the left side, tried to break the edge, and he was able to with a great block by his wide receiver, Preston Hendricks, allowing him to get to the outside, and again, a favorable matchup with a defensive back.
5:44 left to play here, 24-17 our score. Keeney ready to take the snap here. Man in motion to the left is Carney. Handoff, Isaiah Jacobs trying to bust up the middle, get inside the 5, so about a yard's gain. We'll bring up 3rd and goal from maybe the 4.5.
This may be Mario Kirby time again as well. It looked like Moore Lions had 7, almost 8 blue shirts within the box, and that's very tough to run against.
5:23 left to go. This clock rolling as Moore leads at 24-17, but Owasso's knocking on the door.
See if Will Keeney doesn't throw out of this formation.
Keeney dropping back to throw, slings it right side, open receiver into the end zone, touchdown Owasso. Ladies and gentlemen, Mario Kirby. Look at that.
It's almost like we just heard it.
Nostradamus Mowry with the prediction on that one. Good job.
Awesome job by Will Keeney. He drew the entire defense. There were 3 blue shirts in his face. Mario Kirby was unabated to the outside, and it was an easy score as he scampers into the end zone.
Steve will be providing psychic readings from 9 to noon tomorrow at Mowry Chapel, so y'all can stop by and see him. 5:05 left to play here. Here's the kick. It's up through the uprights and good. We are tied at 24. 5:05 left to play, and this third quarter will take a break. I'll be back right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, Christian Favalora, Rob Williams along with you tonight, and we appreciate each and every one of you making us a part of your evening as we're tied at 24. 5:05 left to go in the third quarter, and with another RCB Bank by the numbers drive summary, here's Steve.
That was a 10-play, 63-yard drive. It took 3:04 off the clock, and it ended up being a Will Keeney 5-yard touchdown pass to Mario Kirby and get the Rams tied back up in this ball game. Now it's time for this Ram defense to get a stop.
Owasso will kick it away from left to right. Up the middle of the field it goes. They'll pick it up in the out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
I don't believe I've ever been to a game where there have been this many balls kicked out of bounds.
Well,
and I always thought that was one thing you just could not allow to happen.
Well, they've allowed it. 5:05 left to go, and we'll see what happens here. Don't forget, after the ball game tonight, you could stop by one of your 3 Owasso McDonald's locations. Download the app today. I've heard more excitement about the McRib coming back. And I hear our TV guys up there pumping their fists, Brandon Brewer and Brock Crawford. So if you see them in town, order them a McRib. They need it. But we appreciate them being sponsors of our broadcast here. Handoff, Marcus Morris up the left side to the 50, down to the 45-40, down to the 30-yard line. And he's finally stopped by Jaden Thomas. And boy, you give Moore an inch, they're going to take it a mile in this third quarter, Steve.
Yeah, and they have found a running game. We talked about the Rams making adjustments at halftime, but give Coach Brad Hill credit, too. His staff has made some adjustments, and they've seen something here on the left side where all the success has been with this the new running back, if you will, Marcus Morris.
Tied at 24, 4:56 left to play, Twins to the right. One man to the left, a handoff, Morris up the right side, gets down to the 28-yard line, so that'll be a gain of about 4 on the play.
4 white shirts around him that time as Hayden Grant gets up and Mod Triplett. Also Kewan Hay, Deuce Mayberry, we haven't called his name much tonight, but he came right up and met Morris head on to make the initial stop.
Glad to see our man Deuce back into action.
Yes.
He is been sorely missed. Second down and 7 from the 28-yard line. 4:23 left to play in third quarter action. As Highshaw ready to take the snap here.
How about a big sack?
We could use one right now. Handoff. First man through is going to bust up to about the 21-yard line. Your crystal ball may need a little bit of cleaning there, Steve.
Yep, James Mukes on the carry as he just goes straight between the guards. That's going to be a first down for the Moore Lions.
So they'll move up the chains.
All of this on the ground.
Spot the ball at the 21-yard line. We hit the 4-minute mark, and we've hit 9 o'clock. You're listening to Ram Football on KYFM Bartlesville, KYFM HD1 Bartlesville. As we're here in Moore, Oklahoma tonight, tied at 24. Clock rolling on 1st and 10. Highshaw ready to take the snap as he splits the hash marks. Dropping back to throw. He'll find an open receiver. Touchdown Moore Lions. They are into the end zone, and that is Buckheit running it in a couple of yards. He caught it at the 3 and then marched right in at the 3:32 mark. So Moore will take a 30-24 lead. Man,
there wasn't much resistance that series.
Oh, boy. We'll see what they decide to do here. They're still lining up in that swinging gate formation, and they'll probably line up to kick it here. Well, there they go. They're fixing up their play here. I'm not sure why they do that, but
or if you give them the wrong look, they'll go for 2.
Here's the kick. It's up on the way through the uprights and good. And our score is 31-24, 3:32 left to go in the third quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. Back for the kick right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM. Here in Moore, it's 31-24. Owasso trailing as they reach the 3:32 mark. Moore ready to kick it away from right to left on the radio dial. Steve and RCB Bank by the numbers scoring drive summary. What did we have on that one there?
Well, it was just Moore going down the field, had the long run by Marcus Morris that really set everything up that time for the Lions. It only took 4 plays, 65 yards, and it culminated with a 21-yard touchdown pass, Buckheit from Highshaw.
Kickoff returned by Dawson Adams. He'll get to the 30-yard line, and that is where he'll take over 1st and 10. Dateline, Afton, Oklahoma. Third quarter action there. Rejoice Christian leading Afton 62-8. And watching that football game there on the shores of Grand Lake is inside Owasso.com's Katie Dillard. She'll have a full recap of that ball game afterwards, complete with pictures.
Is that a final?
No, that's third quarter. 62-8. Third quarter was what she just told me. So
Moore has put together 4 straight scoring drives.
Slinging it to the left side is Keeney. He'll connect with Isaiah Jacobs. No gain and even some loss.
Yeah, this Moore defense is just swarming and attacking the football right now.
Yeah, they are doing everything that they can.
They are coming up and sucking up those passes into the flat. Just those swing passes. We haven't really all night long, I don't know that we've attacked the field through the air down the middle of the field anywhere. Everything's been to the outside or streak routes by the wideouts.
That'll bring up 2nd and 12. Twins to each side of the line here. Taking the snap is Keeney. He's dropping back to throw, gunning it up the middle of the field. It was aimed at Goins. He wasn't in the position to make the catch, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 12 from the 28. 2:47 left to go in this third quarter, 31-24. The Moore Lions leading it by 7. The Rams will send twins to each side. Keeney lined up with Jacobs next to him in the gun. He'll take the snap here, dropping back to throw. Keeney gunning it long up the right side of the field, trying to connect with Goins. He couldn't get it. Man.
Just again out over his outstretched hands. There have been 3 good opportunities for the Rams to possibly get touchdowns on passes to Trey Goins, who again beats his defender on the outside, and we just have not been able to make that connection here tonight. And it may come back to bite the Rams. We're down to 2:40 here in this third quarter. Moore has scored on their last 4 drives, and they're getting ready to get the football back.
That'll bring up 4th down and 12 as Alex Haight will punt it away for Owasso. Wobbly punt is going to be caught fairly at the 42-yard line, and that is where Moore will take over 1st and 10, moving from right to left on the radio dial. 2:33 left to go in third quarter action. Rams trailing by 7. And in district play, as you mentioned earlier, Steve, this is a point that, this is a trend that Owasso hasn't seen in any of the last few ball games.
Yeah.
They had to come from behind to beat Southmore, but by this time in the ball game, they had it
well
in hand. Highshaw, the quarterback, ready to take the snap here. He's got Morris next to him, who takes the handoff. He takes it up the left hash mark and gets to the 44-yard line before he's brought down by Jaden Thomason.
And Kewan Hay.
Yeah, those two.
That's after running into Cayman Seaver. So hopefully this defense will start firing off the football and making a play. But give credit to Moore. They've done a good job of mixing the running backs, especially since they've brought in Morris.
I'll give Hay and Thomason that. They looked like they were bouncing someone out of a club on that last play with the intensity that they had there on the field. 1:57 left to go, third quarter action. 31-24 our score. Twins to the right now. Highshaw taking the snap at flags flying, multiple flags there.
We're going to have movement against Moore, and that's the penalty we've been looking for to try to back them up. That'll make it a 2nd and long. I think that's the first penalty in this second half against Moore. They were penalty-free up to that point, and that may be what this Ram defense needs to stop a drive. Of course, you can't give up a big play and let them get a first down, so let's see if we can get a couple of downs here together and get a stop.
2nd down and 14, ball spotted at the 39-yard line. Twins to the right side here. Highshaw rolling out to the right, slinging it back to the left this time and connecting with Mukes. Mukes dropped the football and recovered it. Got back up to the 38-yard line, and that was a play that went disastrous for the Moore Lions.
It did, but it could have been disaster for the Rams had Matt Lohr from his defensive tackle position not read that and popped back out here. That could have been a big play for the Lions, so credit Matt Lohr with a huge defensive play. Now it's going to be 3rd and almost 20 for the Moore Lions.
3rd and a country mile.
Big play here.
We'll see what they can do with it.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Rams trailing by 7. They desperately need a defensive stop here.
Twins to the right. Highshaw ready to take the snap off the left hash mark. He looks to the sideline for another set of instructions from his coach here. Highshaw now handing it off. First man through is
Hayden Grant.
Hayden Grant comes down on top of him.
Kewan Hay and then Hilton Mosby. So that's the play we're looking for. It's going to be 4th and long.
Head-on collision there with 4th and about 20 to go. They back him up anymore, they'll be over in Purcell by the time that our defense gets done with him.
And it looks like Coach Hill's going to let this clock run out, and we're going to move to the fourth quarter, trailing by 7, but the Rams are going to get this punt.
3 in the books, do or die time here in Moore, Oklahoma. It's Moore 31, Owasso 24. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back for the fourth quarter right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM. Our score 31-24. Grant Merrill, Steve Mallory, and the one and only Christian Favalora down on the sideline. Christian?
Oh, guys, it's all hands on deck down here. That last possession, typically we see a lot of coaches, at least a few players under the tent on the television looking at plays, on the iPad, whatever, going over what they can. It was empty. Empty as can be. Everybody was towing the line, trying to see what was going to become of that last possession, because as you know, the Rams have played from behind a few times before, but you never want to have to do it.
All right, it'll be all hands on deck as the Moore Lions punted away. Christian, we'll check in with you. Gage Laney calling for the fair catch as we're back to action here, and we've got a late flag thrown. So, Owasso looking to come from behind in this ball game, 31-24 our score. Appreciate all of Christian's hard work. Don't forget he'll have the recap of tonight's ball game on InsideOwasso.com immediately after the broadcast. And later this evening, I know we've got the scoreboard show here on KEWI or KYFM 100.1 as they will be going over all the scores from the Green Country region. 11:55 left to go here. 1st and 10. Owasso at the 33-yard line. Rams moving from right to left. Twins to each side of the line here. Keeney ready to take the snap. Hands off to keeps it. Fakes the handoff. Runs up the middle. Gets up to the 46-yard line. Flag flying late, Steve, but he should have a good first down here.
Yeah, and let's see if that's going to be a late hit or a personal foul, and I'm not sure that I necessarily agree with that. Will tried to slide, but actually it wasn't feet first. He was going head first. That may be an additional break for the round. Oh, they're going to say face mask.
Oh, boy.
That's why he slid awkwardly there at the end, is his face mask was grabbed, and I think they called it maybe the 5-yard variety. Let's see what they do. I think it was just the 5-yard.
Move up the chain, so it'll be 1st and 10 from our own 49. Keeney, quick handoff to Isaiah Jacobs. He'll get into the 45 to the 40, still on his feet at the 37, but ran out of bounds. 12-yard gain, Steve.
Nice run by Isaiah Jacobs, again running with more purpose here in this second half, but getting good blocks by his wide receivers out on the right side.
Another Westerman Financial Services first down will make it 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Rams on the march trying to get to a position to tie this thing. Twins to the left now. Keeney off that right hash mark, ready to roll. He takes the snap, handing off to Isaiah Jacobs. Jacobs trying to find a hole, gets down to the 36-yard line. A short gain of 3 yards will bring up 2nd down and 7. 11:22 and the clock rolling. Everything crucial in this ball game. Man, you say everything crucial, Steve. I mean, we're talking about a really, really big game with a lot on the line in more ways than one. Handoff Isaiah Jacobs. He rolls out to the left side, getting down to about the 31-yard line.
Boy, just a good job by the Moore Lions, as they've done all night, to just string that play out and maintain the edge all the way into the boundary. No room really for Jacobs to be able to just plant and turn up field.
3rd down and 3, ball spotted at the 32-yard line. 10:33 and the clock rolling.
Taking a lot of time.
Now from the left hash mark, Keeney on the keeper, diving forward, dragging the whole defense with him. He gets down to about the 30. I don't know that he's close enough for the first down
either, but I think this, we're going to have a late penalty.
Oh, boy.
Got to be. There was a late shove there, and the referee went to his belt, but did not pull out the flag. Wow. I thought that was obvious.
Well, that's awfully
Apparently I was the only one.
4th down and 2, ball at the 31-yard line. .47 left to go in this ball game. And now they'll call a timeout. Moore is going to talk things over. We'll take a break with them and be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM. 4th down and 2 from the 31-yard line for the Owasso Rams. 9:44 left to play here, and it's do or die time in this ball game. These Rams ready to go for it here. Keeney with a quick toss to Isaiah Jacobs. He dives forward. He's short of the first down, and that'll turn things around for Moore as they'll take it over 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line.
He tried to run outside, plant his right foot, and then dart upfield, and he just got cut down underneath before he could get that extra yard. And so the Lions are going to take over 1st and 10 after holding the Rams.
9:40 left to play here. 31-24 our score. We'll see what they can do here. Moore slow to come bring their team back onto the field, but
they've used the clock to their advantage by not calling any plays till the play clock gets under 10 seconds.
And a flag flying as they can't even get their play off here.
I think we had offside here on the near receiver.
Christian Favalora just texted me from the sideline. He said during that timeout, Dusty Keeney ran a contact lens from the top row to the sideline to Will and back to the top row, all within the span of a minute. That's a mom that'll do anything for her kid right there.
Pretty athletic.
1st down and 15 from the 25-yard line. Back to throw is Highshaw. He connects with Buckhyde. Buckhyde gets up to the 35-yard line. 10-yard gain there off of a 5-yard penalty will bring up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, I haven't seen much in the passing game from Moore here in the second half, partly due because they've been so effective running the football, and we're able to take the lead on that interception.
9:10 left to go in this ball game. 31-24 our score. Highshaw ready to take the snap here. Twins out to the right side of the line. They'll snap it to him. Highshaw tackled as he...
Yeah, Hayden Grant was right in his face before he could throw the football, and it was floating up there for a moment. And I saw several defenders pointing. There was a key that they all read immediately that was to the benefit of the Ram defense.
3rd down and 5. 8:58 left to play here. 31-24 our score.
Can't allow a 1st down here. Got to get the football back and get the offense back on the field and get something in the end zone.
3rd and 5 is where they'll mark it on the field. 35-yard line is where they've got it. Highshaw ready to take the snap. Twins to the right side of the line here. Highshaw back to throw. Slings it up the middle of the field as it was intended for an open receiver, Morrow, I believe, or Drew Johnston actually, but fell short there, and that'll bring up 4th down and 5. They'll have to bring out the kicking teams.
That's the first 3 and out that Moore has had here in the second half, I know.
So, with 8:54 left to go, Owasso needing to take advantage of a gift here.
Yeah, that's a huge defensive stop, and they reared up that time and made the plays necessary, forcing Moore to throw, which also stops the clock at 8:54.
So back to receive is going to be Gage Laney. He will set up shop at about the 30-yard line, and as is customary, he will, well, I thought he would call for the fair catch, but he decided to take a run for it, and they stopped him just as soon as he got on his feet. There was a monster stop there for Moore's big number 33. That's Blake Jaquez, maybe like Jaquez Washington. I'm not sure how you say that, but anyway, with 8:44 left to go, the clock is stopped, and that'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Rams from the 30-yard line. So really do or die time for Owasso here. We've got to dial some things up quickly to tie this thing and figure out how to get out of here with a win. Trips to the right now. Keeney takes the snap, dropping back to throw. He'll sling it over to Keelan Carty. Carty up to the 39, still on his feet, gets the 1st down, knocked out at the 43-yard line. Move up those chains. It's another Westerman Financial Services 1st down. 8:35 left to go. 31-24 our score. And we have seen Owasso this year engineer fourth quarter victories that were improbable. This one's probable. Handoff, Isaiah Jacobs rolling out to the left side, gets to the 45-yard line before being dragged down by Highshaw, who's playing on the defensive side of the football as well. 8:23 and the clock rolling.
Isaiah Jacobs just unable to break that last man on the edge. Moore all night long has kept someone out there and used the sideline as that 12th defender.
Second down and 7. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line. Trips to the right now as Will Keeney takes it off the left hash mark. Man in motion to the left is Kirby as he makes some adjustments there. Keeney back to throw, slings it right side and connects with the open Grant Van Landingham. And down to the 47 is where they'll spot it. That'll bring up third and a few inches for the Owasso Rams.
Great catch by Van Landingham that time as the ball thrown behind him, but Grant was able to reach back and bring it in. That was an important reception for the Rams to keep this drive alive.
7:30 left to play here as they'll jump forward. Will Keeney on the keeper, drags his team across the line with him and gets the first down. Move up those chains. He made it to the 45 on a 3-yard gain. 7:24 left to go in this one. Somewhere just west of Monkey Island, Oklahoma, our own Katie Dillard is filing a recap on Rejoice Christian's victory, 62-16 the final, as the Eagles go on to beat Afton tonight. So congratulations to Brent Marley and company, 9-0 on the season. Back to throw Keeney as he'll sling it up the left side to Trey Goins. Goins was split out to the 43. And as that one seems to fall incomplete, according to the referee, that'll bring up second down and 10. So they'll bring the ball back to the 46-yard line. Keeney ready to take the snap with twins to each side. 3-step drop, he's looking. He'll fire it up the middle to Grant Van Landingham. Van Landingham to the 32-yard line, and they'll move up those chains on a 14-yard gain for another Westerman Financial Services first down.
That was the best throw of the night by Will Keeney. He threw a dart right in the chest of Van Landingham, who had to make an effort. He caught it at about maybe 8 or 9 yards and just powered himself for that first down. Keeps the drive alive and moves the chains now down at the Moore Lion 33-yard line.
First and 10 from the 33. 7:05 left to play here. 31-24 our score. Owasso trying to get into the position to knock on the door for another touchdown to tie this thing. Keeney.
This will be the 7th play of the drive.
Keeney getting a second set of instructions from Bill Blankenship on the sideline.
Taking a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, he is. Ready to take the snap here. Twins to each side, and Isaiah Jacobs in the backfield behind him. Keeney dropping back to throw, gunning it way up the field, aiming for Van Landingham, and he overthrew him just a bit.
It's been the problem here all evening on those long go routes on the outside.
Second and 10 from the 33. 6:37 left to play in this one. 31-24. The Moore Lions continuing with a 7-point lead over the Owasso Rams.
Something we haven't seen tonight, Grant, is some type of a wheel route, maybe with Jacobs out of the backfield. Run the defenders deep and get it to Jacobs.
Back to throw is Keeney. He guns it up the field again, aiming for Peyton Lusk. Can he catch it? No. That should have been pass interference. They did not throw the flag. Oh, my goodness. Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles each could have seen that one, but no, they do not throw the flag. And that'll bring up third down and 10.
Well, we're obviously in 4-down territory, and the Rams need to think now about picking up the first down. They don't need the touchdown on this play. Just pick something for the touchdown. That was the first time I can recall seeing Peyton Lusk in the ball game here this evening, or at least an attempt to him.
And now, back to throw is Keeney, looking for another person to pass it to. He'll throw it right side this time, and it's almost picked off. Yes, it is picked off. Oh, man. Picked off near the 21-yard line. Goodness gracious.
That's Jaden West once again. He actually, it looked like he went up over the back legally of Mario Kirby and just snatched the ball out of the air.
So they'll turn things around. 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. That's where Moore will have it. Oh, my goodness. Well, that just means we've got a lot more work to do here.
Well, just get a stop and get a lot of time left. Just get a stop. We're okay.
Try to throw it down to Christian here in just a second and see what the...
He may not be able to catch it either.
Well, I don't know. 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Christian, what are you seeing down there?
Well, guys, could that have gone much worse? Will was just trying to get out of that play with a little positive yardage. That was a heck of an athletic play. This is the same guy who batted down the touchdown pass right before halftime.
Handoff to Marcus Morris. He's going to get up to about the 27-yard line, 28-yard line. Christian, 6:09 left to go. Still all hands on deck on the Owasso sideline. What's the mood down there?
Well, we talked about that 10 earlier with the play from the television. It's crammed right now. The entire offense is looking at what they could have done differently there. Really, a pass comes better out of Will Kinney's hand 2 plays later, and we're looking at a tie ball game. But these are the things that happen when one or both of these teams has playoffs on the line.
All right, we'll throw it down to Christian here in just a few. 2nd down and 5 for the Moore Lions as Highshaw is ready to take the snap here. He does so, handing off to the first man through, Marcus Morris, up to the 26-yard line. And that is going to be a gain to bring up 3rd down and 2. 3-yard gain for the Moore Lions. Well, they'll say 3rd down and 1, actually. 5:12 and the clock rolling here.
Right now, Coach Hill just working this clock, milking this 7-point lead, and
Highshaw ready to take the snap.
This may be a play Coach Klink, the defensive coordinator, just brings everybody.
And now Highshaw jumping up and down as they get that snap off, but they called a timeout right before they snapped the football, and they're going to enforce it. 4:48 left to go here, as when we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 1 with the ball on the 26. Moore trying to get a 3rd down conversion with 4:48 left to play back in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football. The 26-yard line out of the timeout with 4:48 left to go here in this ball game. I'm Grant Merrill along with Steve Mowry. Moore leading at 31-24, and Highshaw, the quarterback, taking the snap here. He runs up the middle and gets his first down as he dives forward to the 30-yard line on a 5-yard gain.
And you knew that was coming, and the Rams could not stop it.
Daniel Highshaw, a talented kid on both sides of the football, and he has been everything he was advertised as tonight. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. 4:40 left to play. The Rams down by 7. And you can see that Moore is just trying to milk as much time off this clock as they can. Long, extended visits in the huddle, keeping the ball on the ground. Highshaw handing off. Buckheit. No, that's Mukes, actually.
That's a great tackle by Gage Laney to come up. It may not be much gain at all, if any.
He stopped him for sure, as Gage Laney just kind of coming out of nowhere to get that done. 4:03 left to play in this one. 31-24 our score.
Yeah, no gain on the play, so 2nd and 10. Moore will go back to the huddle. The play clock starts down to 15 with 3:52 to go here in this 4th period.
3:48 left to go here as I saw has it on the right hash mark. He's got Marcus Morris in the gun next to him. He'll take the snap here. Highshaw on the keeper, trying to run up the left side. He gets tackled by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Owasso Rams. Hayden Grant, the ringleader of that gang there. Wow. That'll bring up 3rd down and 11, and we've got a timeout on the field taken by Owasso. 3:31 left to play here. Our score, 31-24. Rams trailing by 7. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football presented by InsideOwasso.com. .331 left to go in this one. 31-24, the Boer Lions leading Owasso by 7. I'm Grant Merrill along with Steve Mowry here on KYFM and online at InsideOwasso.com as Highshaw takes it off the right hash mark for the Boer Lions. He slings it up the middle of the field, connects with Buckheight. Buckheight running free to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Moore Lions. He ran into the end zone unfettered, and there are no flags. 37-24 our score with 3:20 left to play in this one. And on senior night, these Lions are just showing off in the 4th quarter.
That was a great throw and catch from Highshaw to Buckheight, and then Buckheight just outran the coverage. He's been harassing our defense all night long in the secondary, and they were able to pull that one off with 3:20 left to go. Now the Rams really in a difficult spot.
Buckheight and Highshaw have worked well together on both sides of the ball all night long, and they've been quite the tandem here for the Boer Lions. 3:20 left to go. They'll try the extra point here. Oh, no, it's a fake. They roll out to the right, slinging it right side. The pass is incomplete, and the 2-point attempt null and void, so it is 37-24. 3:20 left to play here in this ball game, and the Owasso Rams are going to have to get to work if they want a miracle here. Stay with us. The kick in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football presented by InsideOwasso.com on KYFM.
How far was that, Rob?
In this ball game as the Moore Lions take a 13-point lead over the Owasso Rams tonight. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, and Rob Williams, along with Christian Favalora, joining you from Lion Country tonight. Moore getting ready to punt it away, and Steve, on that scoring drive, it was pretty simple.
Yeah, just an easy throw and catch from Highshaw to Buckheight, who had gotten down the middle of the field behind the defense, and Highshaw laid probably his best pass of the evening to his mate Buckheight, 72-yard touchdown pass, and Buckheight showed his speed as he ran it into the end zone. It's 37-24.
A short kick caught by Dawson Adams. He called for the fair catch at the 27-yard line, and that is where Owasso will take over 1st and 10. So Owasso needing to pull together something short of a miracle here is man, they fall back behind 2 touchdowns here with just moments to go in this ball game.
Yeah, you got to go down and get a touchdown as quick as possible and come back and try an onside kick. But your back is really against the wall now.
Will Keeney off the left hash mark, ready to take the snap. He does so, rolling to the right this time, looking to throw. Keeney marching forward, can't throw it. He runs instead. He slides into a first down. Late flags flying. He got all the way up to the 42-yard line, so about a 15-yard gain there.
We're going to have a personal foul against Moore as Will slid feet first this time, and someone decided to go ahead and come in and hit him, so that should move the ball well across midfield.
Well, every little bit helps, and we've got 3:08
stop, sure,
left to go here. 37-24 our score. They'll move up the chains. Another Westerman Financial Services first down.
Actually called a personal foul face mask against the Moore Lions.
According to television producer extraordinaire Brock Crawford, that's the second time they've done that tonight. Quick reverse into the hands of Mario Kirby it goes. He'll get down to the 40, to the 35-30. Brought down near the 25-yard line. Owasso gaining significant yardage on that one. And call that up as another Westerman Financial Services first down. The chains moving forward.
And the lead blocker on that was Will Keeney out there on the near side trying to get extra yardage. But that's a play I think would have worked earlier in the evening. As heavily pursuing this defense has been all night, maybe this will settle them down. See what Will does here, maybe a throw to the end zone.
1st and 10 from the 25. Keeney slinging it up the right side, finding Trey Goins. Goins brought to the ground just inside the 20. So a gain of about 5 on the play. 2:30 left to go here. And Owasso not giving up by any stretch of the imagination. Twins to each side. Keeney on the right hash mark. 2:20 and the clock rolling here. Will back to throw this time. Finds a man open on the right side. He tried to pass to Preston Hendricks, but it bounced off of him, and that is going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Tried to turn up field too quickly before he had possession of the football, and then as he turned his head, the ball bounced off his chest.
2:16 left to go here. 37-24 our score. Keeney ready to take the snap. Man in motion to the right. Kirby as he switches things around. Keeney trying to pass it left to Grant Van Landingham. It fell short.
Well, Van Landingham had not even come out of his route, didn't even know the football was coming. That was a miscommunication, either quarterback or wide receiver that time.
If you want the most heroic play of the year for the Owasso, be the one that converts this 4th down right here. That's what we need right now. Keeney ready to take the snap, but we got a timeout on the field. 2:14 left to play in this one. We'll take a 30-second break. It's Moore 37 to Owasso 24. You're listening to Ram Football on KYFM. Here in Moore, 37-24 our score, I'm sorry. It's 2:14 left to go in this ball game. Keeney on 4th down and 4, ready to take the snap right here from the right hash mark with twins to each side of the line. He'll look things over. Keeney dropping back, fires it to the right side. They'll get the first down. Mario Kirby marching inside to the 8-yard line. Move up those chains. This thing's still alive for the Rams.
I think we got by with one that time, though, Grant, because it looked like someone on the right side maybe took an extra 2-step start before the play started. But thank you.
Well, we'll take the gift. First and goal from the 9-yard line, twins to each side. And now back to throw is Keeney. Keeney looking, still looking, rolling out to the left, trying to find somebody. He gets it out of his hands. Nobody there to pass it to. He was tackled as he released it. And at the 2-minute mark, that is going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Had plenty of time, just couldn't get a receiver wide open. Trying to run across the back of the end zone. Grant Van Lanningham was over there, but I think Will just decided to throw it out of bounds, threw it actually out of the back of the end zone.
2 minutes to go, 37-24 our score, twins to each side of the line. 2nd and goal from the 9. As Keeney drops back to throw, he'll sling it up the middle of the field. Is it caught?
Yes.
Yes, touchdown Owasso. Oh, my. They will go into the end zone, and Trey Goins, it looked like, made the catch. Was that Trey or was that Carney? Keelan Carney, the freshman, with his 2nd touchdown of the night. Holy smokes. And now we've got a Moore player that's down.
Yeah, he and Isaiah Jacobs collided. Jacobs goes off the field trying to shake the cobwebs out. I can't see a number at this point in time.
1:54 left to play while they tend to the injured player. We'll take a 30-second break and be back after this. Touchdown Owasso. This thing's still interesting. Stay with us. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM. Christian Johnson will try the extra point here for the Owasso Rams as he lines up to try to make it a 37-31 ball game. Here's the kick. It is up through the uprights and good. 37-31 our score. 1:54 left to play as Owasso pulls within 6. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back after this. This is Ram Football on KYFM. On our score, Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, Christian Favalora along with you. 1:54 left to play. And Steve Mowry, if you are Bill Blankenship, you do what right here?
Well, I think you got to have an onside kick, and that's how they're going to line up. I wasn't sure there at first, but you got to get an onside kick, hope for a recovery, because you only have 2 timeouts left and 1:54 to go in the ball game.
Alex Haight will kick it away here at the 40-yard line and try for that onside. We'll see what he can do here. They are holding off and ready to roll. Here's the kick. Oh, they try to pounce on it.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground. Do we have it?
I think Moore is able to dive on it.
Yeah, they say Moore's got it. They say Moore's got it.
It bounced around. The Rams faked the kick to the left side and then kicked it back to the right.
Well, it was a valiant effort either way for our special teams. They tried their best, and Moore will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, now you just got to call on your defense to try to make a stop.
Well, 1:52 is a lot of football.
Yeah, if Moore gets 1 first down, though, they can pretty much lock this game up.
37-31 our score. We will hope that the tide turns somehow here. Maybe an interception or a fumble on the play.
I can't believe that Moore would throw the ball, but well, you never know.
You never know. They've done some interesting things tonight. Handoff.
Yeah.
First man through is
There we
going to
go.
get to the 45-yard line. That's Marcus Morris on the run there.
Timeout.
And we've got a timeout on the field for Owasso and Bill Blankenship. 1:45 left to go. Back in a minute on KYFM. Out of the break, it is going to be on the keeper. On the keeper, Highshaw, the quarterback, as he rolls up the left hash mark, he'll get to the 44-yard line of Owasso, and that'll bring up another first down for the Moore Lions with 1:39 left to play in this ball game. 37-31 our score. Lions up by 6. Owasso had just scored a touchdown. There's another timeout on the field, Steve, but we'll keep it right here and just kind of break down where we are in this thing and what you see from here.
Well, I mean, that was the Rams' last time out. There's a minute 39 on the clock, and we said the last thing we could do was let Moore have a first down. They had run that first down to James Mukes on the right side, and then they came right back out of that timeout, faked that handoff, and Daniel Highshaw took out to the left side, and we just got sucked up with the initial handoff. The play fake worked. Highshaw was able to get the first down. Now the Rams they've just got to try to get a stop here with no more timeouts. You need a quick stop here, and then Moore can almost run this clock out.
Minute 39 left to play here. 37-31 our score if you're just joining us. Highshaw, the quarterback, with Morris next to him, hands it off. And they're going to be able to stop and stuff him with only a yard's gain to bring up second down and 9.
They faked the handoff to Marcus Morris, and Ahmad Triplett went for it and just dropped Morris on his backside.
1:20 left to go here. And now you're in a position where clock management is going to be a issue as well. And Moore is bound and determined to run as much time off this clock as they possibly can. They're down to 9 seconds on the play clock. Highshaw ready to take the snap. He'll do so here.
He keeps it,
and he gets through. And he's breaking free, my goodness, to the 15, 10, 5 touchdown Moore Lions. And he's all but nailed this one shut for the Moore Lions, 43-31 with 47 seconds left, and their excellent quarterback, Daniel Highshaw Jr., with room in front of him. He seized the opportunity and marched straight into the end zone. Well, a disappointing second half for these Rams, for all of us here. It's just something we weren't expecting coming into this ball game. At least I wasn't. And now they'll try to kick the extra point here to make it 44-31. Here comes the kick. It is up through the uprights and good. Oh, no good. No good. Wow. 47 seconds left to play, 43-31 our score. We'll take a 30-second break back for the kick right after this on KYFM. in beautiful Moore, Oklahoma, 43 to 31. Our score, 47 seconds left to play in this ball game. By the way, congratulations to the Owasso Lady Ram cross country team going to the state championship tomorrow.
Coach Parker got both boys and girls headed into playoffs, and the girls will be vying for a state championship.
They run long, long distances. I couldn't run across the parking lot, so kickoff is going to be fielded by Dawson Adams at the 25-yard line. He'll get up to the 34 before he's finally brought down, and with 40 seconds left to play here, that's where they'll have it 1st and 10. Well, coming up in the post-game show, we've got to select a McDonald's player of the game, and then we'll be headed back to beautiful Owasso, USA. And we've got a Moore line that is down and being tended to by his trainer, Steve.
I believe that might be Jake Cordova. I didn't see what happened, but there were a lot of players in on that tackle, and he might have gotten caught under the bottom of that pile.
So while they tend to him, we'll take a quick 30-second timeout. Back after this on KYFM. Welcome back. 38 seconds left to go in this ball game, and it's 43 to 31. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry along with you tonight. 1st and 10, Owasso at their own 35-yard line. We've got a post-game show here in just a few minutes. And now the snap bobbled by Will Keeney as he drops back to throw. He'll sling it left side to Trey Goins. Goins at the 46-yard line, and that's enough for a 1st down. Another Westerman Financial Services 1st down, 29 seconds left to play here. First and 10 from the 46-yard line. Twins to the right, twins to the left. Keeney off the left hash mark, taking the snap, dropping back to throw. Still looking and scrambling and tries to throw to Goins. He sees that one fall incomplete.
Will just hasn't quite been on his game here tonight, and we missed some open receivers that he would typically be able to get the ball to, just kind of floated it over their heads some, and I don't know. It was. I'll say this: it was a team effort because we talked about it in the early going. It's just been a flat atmosphere all night long.
Trips to the right, and Keelan Carney split to the left. Back to throw, Keeney. Keeney slings it up the right side. Nice catch by Grant Van Landingham at the 35-yard line, and he's ran out of bounds. That's another big 1st down with 13 seconds left. Won't be enough to help us try to even tie or win tonight, but that's a nice play there. 1st and 10 Rams from the 35 of the Moore Lions. Trips to the left. 13 seconds to play. And let's see what they can do here. Keeney will take the snap. He'll drop back to throw. Looking up the left side of the line. He connects with Van Landingham again at the 21-yard line. And that'll stop the clock with 4 seconds, and we'll have time for one more play before we nail this one shut tonight. 4 seconds to go. And even down by 12, they're going to do their best here. 43-31 our score as the Owasso Rams will fall to 5-4 this evening. Twins to each side. Keeney back to throw. Slings it up the middle of the field. It's off the fingertips of Keelan Carney.
That is emblematic of everything that's happened here tonight.
And that will put the clock on all zeros, and we have rounded this one out here in Moore tonight. Our final score, the Moore Lions 43, the Owasso Rams 31. We'll take a break and be back for the First United Bank Mortgage Group Ram recap. Right after this, you're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM. On our final score here in Moore as the Moore Lions upset the Owasso Rams on senior night. And man, I tell you, it was just hard to watch this Owasso Rams team that just ran out of gas here late in this fourth quarter. I'm Grant Merrill, along with Steve Mowry, Christian Favalora roaming on the sidelines. He'll have a complete recap of tonight's ball game at InsideOwasso.com. Our RCV Bank by the Numbers Stats Update brought to you by RCV Bank. They're ready to make the numbers work for you. Call Skip Mefford or Todd Ward or any of their lending team today to see how they can help. Steve?
Looking at the numbers, Grant, it was really, statistic-wise, dominated by the Owasso Rams here in this ball game. They finished with 24 first downs. Moore only had 14 compared to the 24. The Rams only 89 yards on 34 carries on the ground. To me, that's a bit surprising for this offensive line and Isaiah Jacobs in the backfield. We never saw any thunder and lightning as Fast Eddie Nava never made it into the ball game. On the other side, Moore with 168 yards on 31 carries. Highshaw was 15 of 24, no interceptions for 215 yards. Will Keeney, 28 completions on 48 attempts with 2 interceptions, and of course the one interception that bounced off of Mario Kirby into the hands of West of Moore, who returned it for a touchdown. Boy, you could really feel the momentum at that point starting to change sides. The Rams finished with 455 yards to the Lions 383 yards. Penalties in the ball game, 7 penalties against each ball club, 46 yards on the Rams, 55 for the Moore Lions. The Rams, who had done so well at halftime, they believe at halftime they were 4 of 8, and so they were only 2 of 7 of third downs here in the second half. And Moore was 4 of 9 in the ball game. Rams only 1 of 3 on fourth down. Time of possession, you would have thought this would really have gone, in my opinion, more into Moore's favor as they had the ball over 26 minutes. The Rams just under 22 minutes. Highshaw rushing tonight, 14 carries for 59 yards, and of course the big 49-yarder there at the end to put the final nail in the coffin for his second touchdown of the evening. Morris came in and did a lot of damage here in the second half for Moore, 12 carries for 95 yards. It was Buckeye through the air with 8 receptions for 156 yards and 2 touchdowns in this ball game. Add Baxter's tight end reception in that first half with a touchdown. He had 3 receptions on the night for 30 yards, and then Johnson added 3 receptions for 36 yards. Not big numbers for Moore, but very effective whenever they had to be. On the other side, Isaiah Jacobs, he eclipses the 100-yard mark with 107 on the night with 23 carries. Will Keeney had 9 carries for 53 yards. He was 28 of 48 through the air with 2 interceptions, 266 yards. He did throw 4 touchdowns in this ball game. I believe that gives him 20 on the season coming into tonight's game. Mario Kirby had 8 receptions for 79 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Keelan Carney 7 receptions for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. Grant Van Lanningham there at the end, scarcely used throughout the ball game, had a couple receptions late, finishes with 4 catches on the evening and 43 yards. But the big stat on the scoreboard tonight, Grant, is that Owasso will fall to 4-2 in the district, and with the matchup here with Moore, as they lose tonight 43-31, the chances of them getting a home playoff game now is pretty much out the window, and they face another tough team next week that they've got. It's almost a must-win game. If they lose that and Mustang does something, then things could get real ugly. But in any case, if the Rams finish 3 or 4, in all probability, we're going to be traveling to Broken Arrow or Jinx in the first round of the playoffs. But before that can happen, you got to take care of the Panthers next week at Putnam City North.
Putnam City North beat Mustang tonight 35-19. Had some problems with the Broncos early in the ball game, but ended up coming back to win that one. Other scores from around the region: Union beats Southmore 65-7. Norman North with a 41-12 win over Edmond North. Yukon beats Enid. They didn't just beat them; they steamrolled them 54-0. Broken Arrow shutting out Edmond Memorial in a similar fashion last night, 56-0. Norman went to shootout with Westmore tonight, 48-42, and Jinx beats Edmond Santa Fe 49-8. So those are your scores from around the Class 6A Division 1.
Yeah, Norman scores quite a surprise knowing how strong Westmore was against us.
We have to name a McDonald's player of the game tonight, and I'm going to go with Keelan Carney. Freshman scores 2 touchdowns. Anytime you got a 9th grader doing that on a team like we've got, I think that he probably deserves a big shout-out and an honorable mention going to Mario Kirby, who also had 2 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, and probably honorable mention as well to Isaiah Jacobs, who again gets over the 100-yard mark as the run game was very difficult tonight. But you know what? You got to tip your hat to Coach Hill and the Moore Lions. They came in with a great game plan. They executed. Even through the first half, they were going to take time off the clock. The play clock was almost always under 10 seconds, if not 5 seconds, and it really shortened the game for the Rams.
My vote for Christian Brothers' drive of the game hasn't happened yet because it's going to be my drive down the off-ramp at 106th Street, which means I'm 30 seconds from home later tonight. But I would say that our opening drive in which we scored that first touchdown will probably be our Christian Brothers' drive of the game this evening. And
yeah, that was a 10-play, 82-yard drive. The Rams had a couple of those kicks out of bounds, and the Rams took over at their own 18-yard line, and it was culminated with a Will Keeney 23-yard touchdown pass to Mario Kirby. Mario Kirby's first of 2 touchdown receptions in this ball game.
Well, Steve, I will see you 1 week from tonight at Putnam City North. We're going to be back to action here in the Metro. Another trip down the Turner Turnpike for these Owasso Rams. Hard-fought first half. Things just kind of imploding in that third and fourth quarter, and Moore comes away with a 43-31 win tonight here in their home field here at Moore Schools Stadium. So anything we've missed before we sign off for the night?
I think you echoed our sentiments here tonight. We could feel it immediately in the first quarter. Fans have got to come out to the ball game. The band doesn't travel this far anymore.
Nope.
We don't have the student section. We don't have anything. And I think all of us in here, radio crew, TV crew, coaches even echoed that when I went in their box. This was so flat here tonight that the Rams just never did seem to get in sync. They never seemed to get a rhythm. We would see moments of it where they would put like the 10-play drive together, and then it would disappear. And I think part of that due to the fact is there's just no energy here in this stadium. We counted the fans on the other side, and I think we came up with about 92. We need a couple of busloads of people to come over next week at Putnam City North because the implications of that game just got even bigger after tonight.
We definitely need you next week. Hope that you'll be with us. And, of course, if you can't make it, you can be in our audience here on the Owasso Rams TV, the Inside Owasso, the Owasso Rams app, and we'll have it for you here on KYFM. But again, our final score tonight, the Moore Lions win it 43-31. For Christian Favalora, Rob Williams, Brandon Brewer, Brock Crawford, Lauren Merrill, Steve Mowry, I'm Grant Merrill saying good night, God bless you, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week for Owasso Rams football right here on 100.1 KYFM. And we're gone.